All right, very good afternoon, everybody, from the controller scopes. Once again, it's me, Captain Nabs, with you. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We are here on Moncton Centre today, and yeah, we are here to just provide some good ATC service to the good people on the VATSIM network. It's been a while. It has been a while since I last streamed. Uh, it's been the better part of I don't even know. In all honesty, I'm thinking about it right now, and yeah, the answer is I don't even know how long it's been since I last streamed. I think it's been at least a month since I last did a VATSIM live stream. So I'm just trying to get myself up and running here. So please don't mind if I'm not chatting too much for the next couple minutes here while I just try and get some information online, especially regarding ATISes and stuff like that for uh, yeah, for the various airports. I do see somebody on the ground in St. John's. I do have a Halifax approach controller on, so that's good. We got a Halifax ATIS. We're gonna need some other ATISes up here, maybe Gander, St. John's. So let's go ahead and get St. John's first of all, because I see somebody there. So St. John's. ATIS is loading. There's the ATIS. Looks like we had information. Lima, RNAV or ILS at runway 28. Zulu ILS 28. Arrivals departures 28. RSC 28. 666. Dry. Good, good. That'll be information Lima and St. John's. There we go. We got Zulu and Halifax, Lima and St. John's. Let's start getting some people talking to me here. So I'm going to start sending contact me requests to all the people in my
Moncton Centre, friction 128, just passing Kenki, flight level 410. I don't know if you want to control me or not.
and friction 128. What's the identifier for that? And friction 128. Moncton, what's your three-letter airline identifier? I don't see on my list, but I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah. So it's NetJet. So it's November Juliet Echo 128.
November Juliet Echo 128. Okay. I'll get you to squawk a code of 3135, and let's see if I can spot you.
Okay, I'll squawk 3135, friction 128.
All right. And CAW207 Romeo. So we got a lot of overflights right now. All right, so where is the friction airplane here? I'm not seeing them. Every scope setup's a little bit different just to make things just a little bit challenging sometimes to deal with.
Moncton Centre, Canada 855 with you at flight level 360.
And which Air Canada was that?
Canada 855.
Air Canada 855, squawk it in, please. Air Canada 855, thank you. You're identified at flight level 360. Welcome.
Thank you, Canada 855.
Trying to figure out. And friction 128. I'm still having a little bit of a tough time spotting you on the radar here. Can you squawk it in for me?
Yeah, their squawk is 3135, fraction 128. We're just at the very, very north of your control at the moment.
Ah, there you are. Okay, fraction 128. Thanks. You're identified at 410. Yeah, sorry, I didn't pan up far enough to see you there. He is, but just barely. All right, getting people there. All right.
Centre Air Canada 855 is requesting a step climb to flight level 380 when able, please.
And Air Canada 855, that's approved. Climb flight level 380.
Approved 380, Air Canada 855, thanks.
All right, this guy's climbing to 390. This guy's climbing to 380. All right, while I'm at it,
Moncton 45 Whiskey Heavy request. Delta 237 with you at 360.
okay, there were a couple calls at once there. I think I heard a Delta 237.
Affirm Delta 237, so we couldn't hear the other traffic.
Not a problem, Delta 237. I don't see a flight plan for you. Hold on, let me just recheck the master list here.
I might have to refile. Our internet did cut off earlier. 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, it looks like it's gone away. Just refile for me.
And then 45 Whiskey Heavy request.
Version 45 Whiskey Heavy, go ahead.
Requesting out of cockpit 15 minutes. The lady is making us do things.
45 Whiskey, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Sorry, recall.
All right, so he's away. All right, slowly getting some people on board here. All right, Delta 237.
Delta 237 should be up for you now.
And Delta 237, there it just appeared for me. Squawk code 3155.
3155 Delta 237.
All right, I was going to pull up the ground view in St. John's because I just want to see if this guy's going to start taxiing on me.
Moncton Centre, good day, Musketeer 8 Bravo Bravo, flight level 400.
Stand by one moment. Just trying to pull up. Let's see here. My ground view for St. John's. And sorry, the last call, it was Musketeer.
Correct.
What was the flight number again?
Flight level 400.
Sorry, what was the flight number, Musketeer? I missed you there. Oh, is it Musketeer 88 Bravo?
Musketeer 8 Bravo Bravo.
Oh, I can't read apparently. Musketeer 8 Bravo Bravo, squawk code 3142.
3142 for Musketeer 8 Bravo Bravo.
I can't remember how many of these guys I pinged, so I'm just going to ping them all. All right. I do have, Rouge on the ground in St. John.
Delta Airlines 743 to London Heathrow, flight level 340 with you.
All right. First, Musketeer 88 Bravo. Thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 400. Welcome. And the other flight going to Heathrow, what was the call sign?
Delta Airlines 743.
Delta 743. I don't see a flight plan in my short list. Let me check my long list. Oops. Sometimes trying to move the scroll bar on this list is almost impossible. But anyways, I can see Delta down there. Delta 743 Moncton, I don't see a flight plan for you. If you can hit refile for me, please.
Roger.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get a...
Hello, Zep 806, level 360.
And 806, what was the call sign?
Zep, the Chaos Alpha Whiskey Charlie.
Zap 806, hello, squawk code 3112.
3112, Zep 806.
All right, I wasn't so worried about Musketeer, except for the fact that Boston Centre is actually online, so I do actually care what he's doing. Boston Centre, All right, so hence I want to get these people on board with me. I can't remember if I ever pinged this guy, so I'll ping him again now. It's been 5 or 10 minutes here. Yeah. Woo. Oh, hey, Uncle Wiki. I guess you're not flying with me today. Nope, I am not. I'm afraid. Where are you going today? And yeah, my Toronto sector file looks weird. That's because it's not Toronto. Ah. And Tom, hi, nice to see you as well. It's nice to see you guys, and I'm sorry it's been as long as it has. It's just been, it just insanity all the time. All right, let's get this guy. So squawk three. I feel like I already got someone to squawk 3113. No, maybe not. All right. Delta 7. Okay, I didn't see the Delta there. All right. Air Canada 800. That's probably this guy if I was a betting man. And I'll send the Musketeer off to Boston now, just so I don't forget. We got an ATIS up. I was going to put an ATIS up in Moncton.
Delta Airlines 743. Our flight plan should be 5 now.
All right, Delta 743. I don't see it yet, but it usually takes about a minute for it to cross the system.
Roger, thank you.
Okay, so let's see here. Moncton. I'm just going to put up an ATIS for Moncton. Approach RNAV Zulu or Yankee runway 20.
Center, good day. This is Delta 624 Heavy. We're with you at 340, climbing for 370.
And Delta 624 Moncton. Hello, just squawk it in for me.
Walking ident, Delta 624 Heavy.
Delta 624. Thanks. Identified at 342. Climb 370.
Make 370 for 624 Heavy.
All right, Air Canada 800 is identified at 350 as well. So I'm slowly getting some of these people identified on my list here. Okay, so again, I'm just going to try and get this Moncton ATIS up there because I feel like that's a good one to have up. Landing and departing, runway 29. RSC 24666, 10% ice, 10% ice, 10% ice, 180 foot width, remaining width ice. I could cut and paste, but it's just as easy. It's almost easier to type than it is. It looks like this is almost the same, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut and paste this because it looks like, yeah, runway 29 is almost exactly the same RSC, so pretty much exactly identical. So I'll just cut and paste that, and it's information kilo. All right, we'll get that one up there. Musketeer 8 Bravo Bravo. Contact the Boston Centre now. 134.7. G'day.
134.7 for Musketeer 8 Bravo Bravo. Thank you very much, sir. Bye bye.
And Fraction 128. Yeah, I see you there leaving as well. You can switch back to the en route frequency. Thanks for checking in though, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, thank you, Fraction 128. We'll go back onto Unicom 122.8. Thank you, goodbye.
Take care. All right.
KLM 641 at 40,000. We are CPOC.
KLM 641 Moncton, hello. Squawk code 3121.
312.
KLM 641, thanks. You're identified at flight level 400. Thank you. All right, trying to keep track of everything. Yeah, my Moncton Centre is. Did you get up getting MSFS 2024 for Christmas? I did not. Thank you for remembering. I did not. Oh, my Toronto. Yep. Thank you for that as well, Travis. Yes, my stream info does say the wrong thing. Wow, I'm an amateur at this again. I haven't done this in so long, so let's get this corrected. Thank you so much for pointing that out. 132.2 is the frequency. That should update in about 3 seconds there. There it goes. And you know what is also not correct is probably the last time I streamed there, also indicated in the bottom of the screen. Wow, I am not good at this at all. All right, let me start my date time program there, and that should update in a couple seconds to be the correct date there at the bottom now as well, and the correct time. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. You can see it's not a whole lot of airplanes, but it was enough airplanes as soon as I opened this up that like I needed to start leaping on it right away. I didn't have the time to really kind of think about you know what my various ATIS and everything we're doing. And KLM641, yes, sorry, you did ask about CPDLC. You can log on Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike.
We already tried logging on Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're not the first person to ask about it. It should be working, but it doesn't seem to be. So I'm just going to try restarting my CPDLC. Give me a moment.
Very good evening, correction afternoon, Speedbird 173 Bravo, level 400 at Mount Taffy.
Speedbird 173 Bravo. Hello, squawk code 3373.
Squawk 3373, yes, Speedbird 173 Bravo.
Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike.
Center Virgin 73 Quebec, checking in at 380.
All right, first Speedbird 173 Bravo, identified at flight level 400, thanks. And the Quebec call sign, that was Virgin 73 Quebec?
Hey, firm.
Virgin 73 Quebec, hello, squawk ident, and confirm the altitude again.
Wilco will ident, and we are at 380 now.
Virgin 73 Quebec, thanks. You're identified at flight level 380. And ZAP 806, I don't think I ever said it, but you are identified at flight level 360. All right. And KLM 641, all right, I've reset the system. Give it another try to log on CPDLC. It's Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike. Not sure why it's not working here today.
KLM 641, we'll try it again. Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike.
Yeah, something might be going on. It's such an odd, and the CPDLC is, oh, I got somebody. It's such an odd little system that nobody All right, KLM 641, thanks for that. I've got you now on the CPDLC. The reboot seems to have worked for my computer here.
KLM 641.
Affirmative, KLM 641. You should get the login confirmation momentarily. All right, and I've also got ZAP 806 is also on CPDLC, so that's good. All right, I've got about 2/3 of the airplane in my airspace identified here, so that's a good start. Yeah, all right, looking a little better now, and I'm when you're trying to work a busy sector, you need you need everything to work properly. And the Situ software is really good because it adds a level of realism, but unfortunately it blocks some of the capabilities of the software that makes it harder to use. So I've unfortunately abandoned it until there's better official support for it. So unfortunately, I have to use the original Hobby ACAR software because the integration does not work well.
Centre from Air Canada 855.
Air Canada 855, go ahead.
Air Canada 855, request 5 to 10 minutes out of the cockpit. I'm aware I'm at the edge of your airspace. Are you happy if I switch to Unicom early?
Air Canada 855, yeah, I was looking at you there. You're about a minute away. So yeah, go ahead, switch to the honorary frequency. Your surveillance service terminates. Have yourself a great rest of the day.
Thanks, you too. Take care, Air Canada 855. See ya.
All right, what else have we got going on here? All right, so I think we got everybody. Bruges has not started taxing. I worry he's going to start taxing without calling me, so I keep kind of scanning through there, but he looks okay. Yeah, looks okay. All right, and the CAW, I don't even know what CAW is. It says commercial 207. So we're going to get him, going to send him back to Unicom because he's leaving my airspace. Air Canada's leaving my airspace. I'm going to try this Speedbird one more time. I got a departure from Moncton. Hey, see, it pays to put up an ATIS. It pays to put up an ATIS. All right, how can they not remember you need MSFS 2024? What kind of people do you call family? people who know me well enough to know that they should not support my drug habit. That is the kind of loving family I have. They are not enablers. I have been contemplating it for the last little while now. I've been looking at it. It seems to have kind of fallen out of the press in a good way, in just the sense that like it doesn't seem like a disaster anymore. It seems like it's kind of stabilized a little bit. So I think it might be an okay time to buy it. And it seems like some of the developers are getting on board with it. But like, I don't know. I would like to try it out and fly it, but yeah, there's some other. Uh, yeah, it depends on how well the other airplanes worked. I kind of stopped paying a lot of attention to it for the time being. I've just been, again, so busy. I thought January was going to get better, and it didn't. It did not. I was hoping last week to have a live stream for Pilot's Life. I did not get that in, much to my chagrin. I tried. I really tried, but it didn't. It just wasn't in the cards. And then same thing with this coming week now. My kids are on exams, so they're going to be home most of the days, except when they're not exams. And when they're on exams, and they're only on exam for like half days. So I am going to look at the schedule. I am only off on Thursday and Friday this week. Um, I don't see it happening on either of those days based on what I've seen. So I'm hopeful maybe next week, but still the exams are kind of persisting into next week. So it might well be the month of February before I get another Pilot's Life stream in. It's just wacky. And then yeah, January is weird. Like my first kid is in high school, so now it's the first time we're kind of rounding out high school exams at the end of the first semester in January, and it's different. It's different. It's not terrible, but it's just yeah, the schedule's different. They're home a lot. The kids are home a lot more, which is fine. It's nice to have them home, although she's buried in her books studying the whole time. But it's not something where I want to take time away from my family to go and stream. I try to use the time when they're all at school, at work, and I'm not, I'm home by myself. That's the time I try to take to stream. So I can't even remember what my next flight is. I feel like I can't even remember what I did last. Did we go to Fort Lauderdale, I think? I feel like we went to Fort Lauderdale, but no, I feel like we left Fort Lauderdale to LaGuardia, and then, yeah, I think that was the last stream I did, was Fort Lauderdale to LaGuardia, so I don't even remember what the next Pilot Life leg is, or how long it's going to be, and that's kind of the other issue always, is how long how long is the leg going to be? You know, can I squeeze it in an evening is the other option. So I might be able to squeeze it in an evening if it's a short enough leg. New York, probably down to Florida again, I think, might be too long. I cannot remember the life of me what it is. I haven't seen it. All right, Uncle Wiki is heading out to the airport to actually go fly to Orlando. You know, and I did do Orlando twice last week, so you should have gone last week on Thursday and Friday because I did Orlando twice last week on Thursday and Friday. But have fun in Orlando, and yeah, you can you can put the stream on in the car. You can watch me. There's not much to look at on the screen, anyways. You're mostly just listening to the soothing sounds of my voice as I soothe you all the way to the airport. Or are you afraid I'm just going to put you to sleep on the way to the airport? Okay, so I got a bunch of people entering my airspace here, so I'm going to try and ping a whole bunch of these people because it's a little bit dicey here with a whole bunch of people entering my airspace. This guy is still in my airspace. Anybody who's in my airspace now that is not talking to me, I'm getting annoyed with. It, and you as well. All right.
Level 380 Mount Lomsey.
And the call sign cut off again. Confirm that was Lufthansa 414.
Affirm Lufthansa 414, super.
Lufthansa 414, squawk 3134.
Moncton Centre, Delta 37.
And Delta 237 Moncton.
Yeah, we just gotta contact you, but we've already contacted you. Not sure what's going on there.
And Delta 237. I'm sorry, I must have tapped the wrong wrong call sign there, so my apologies for that.
Yeah, no worries. We'll be here.
Cheers.
Moncton Centre, good afternoon. Delta 15, flight level 340, 90 miles northeast of London.
All right, Delta 15, hello, squawk code 2072.
2072, Delta 15.
Lufthansa 414, identified at flight level 380. And who else was here? Canada 87 Tango.
Shamrock 1, Mike, good evening, sir. They were John Joe, 35 nautic miles, and level cruise 360.
Sorry, say again the call sign, cruising at 360.
What?
Last call, say again the call sign that's cruising at 360.
Negative, Shamrock 1, Mike, November.
Shamrock 1 Mike November. Hello, squawk a code of 3123.
Squawk number 3123, Shamrock 1, Mike, November.
Okay, 31.
45 is gehebt, the cockpit.
And Virgin 45 Whiskey Heavy, thanks. All right, now there's my airplane.
Lufthansa Delta 15, request flight level 340. 360.
Sorry, who is requesting 360?
Delta 15.
Delta 15, that's approved. Climb flight level 360.
Climb 360, Delta 15.
Center from Lufthansa 410 Super.
Lufthansa 414. Go ahead.
Negative, this is Lufthansa 410. You can't see me at the moment because I'm connected as observer. I was gone for a while.
I'm now within your airspace, level 380 and 360 nautical miles northeast of waypoint Taffy. And if it's okay, I would like to reconnect, but I'm already within your airspace.
And yeah, Lufthansa 410, that's approved. I'll give you a code as soon as I see you.
Alright, thank you, appreciate it. We'll call you in a second.
Shamrock 1 Mike November, identified flight level 360.
Affirmative, level cruise 360, Shamrock 1 Mike November.
Lufthansa 414. Traffic at your 12 o'clock for about 8 miles is a 777 in the climb 350 for 360.
We'll keep an eye out. 414.
Delta 15, you probably saw the traffic earlier at your 12 o'clock for about 2 miles is a 777 level at 340.
Check with side Delta 15.
KLM 6, disregard. We'll use the CPDLC.
Virgin 45 Whiskey Heavy requesting climb flight level 400.
Stand by. And Virgin 45 Whiskey, you were requesting 400?
Yes.
Virgin 45 Whiskey, approved, climb flight level 400.
Climb and maintain flight level 400, Virgin 45 Whiskey Heavy.
Moncton Centre, good day, it's Fox Zulu Kilo, Alpha Kilo.
Stand by. Sorry, Zulu, was it Foxtrot Zulu Kilo Hotel calling?
Yeah, it's Zulu Hotel. We got Kilo, Piper Seminole in Moncton. Simulating IFR. First request is after departure will be on a southeasterly track towards Halifax at 4,000 feet. And we're ready for taxi.
All right, Zulu Kilo Hotel, I copy that. Squawk code 1233. What's your location on the field?
Okay, 1233, we're just west of the flight college. I forget what apron this is, but we're just right between the college and the tower.
Zulu Kilo Hotel, Roger. The winds were showing 240 at 9. Are you okay with departure 29 or you want a taxi for 24?
29 can work for us, if that works for you.
Very good. Zulu Kilo Hotel, taxi apron, your discretion, and Alpha to hold short of runway 29. The altimeter is 3030.
Okay, 1233, taxi Alpha short of 29 for Zulu Kilo Hotel, thank you.
It's a lot of stuff to kind of keep track of sometimes in this game here. All right, so KLM's squawking the new code. Excellent. Thank you. He pressed like Wilco like 3 times for some reason. All right. We just sort of see here.
And Senator, this is Lufthansa 410 Super again. You should see me now on the radar, flight level 380 inbound Taffy.
Lufthansa 410 Super, squawk ident.
Squawking ident now, Lufthansa 410 Super.
Lufthansa 410 Super, thanks, identified, flight level 380. All right. I got more people coming in here. This person, I don't know who they are, so we're going to contact you, and we're going to contact you. This guy's still not calling, some kind of Concorde flying back and forth. Speedbird 173 Bravo, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Center is about to close, so you can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and enjoy the rest of your flight.
Okay, over to Unicom then for Speedbird 173 Bravo. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Air Canada 800 is not listening to me on text here. Try him one more time, and then I'm just going to get rid of him.
So Kiltel's short 29 ready.
Zulu Kilo Hotel. Let's see here. Left turn out is approved. You can report clearing the zone to the southeast. The wind's 250, gust 17, clear for takeoff 29.
Okay, left turn and calling the zone clear takeoff 29. Zulu Kiltel, thank you.
All right. We got him leaving. We got him leaving. It's a lot of stuff. Moncton's a busy sector to keep track of with all the overflights sometimes. And then to try and monitor for conflicts and everything, it's a lot of work here. And these guys are both going to Taffy, or is he's no, he's not going to Taffy. I think it, so that's fine. Just to kind of spot, because you get such a big flow of traffic just moving in one direction. I mean, for me it looks like this, but for you guys it actually looks like it's all flowing this way. But you get these flows of traffic, and everybody's moving the same direction, and very similar altitudes. There's only about 3-4 altitudes maybe that everyone flying in the same direction really has to choose from. So you have to kind of really watch carefully to make sure that there's no conflicts. Okay, let's see here. And then you also got to watch to see airplanes coming and going. So the Rouge is just departing St. John's without talking to anybody. I wonder if I can throw up Gander. Moncton, we got 2-4 and 2-9 of the active. 2-4 is the preferred IFR with information Kilo, and Zulu Kilo Hotel is just departed on a left turn out. He's on a simulated IFR flight, VFR simulated IFR, southeast bound at 4,000 initially. And that's all I got. You ready for him? All right, cool. It was information. All right, so now we got a Moncton low. Yeah, that's what they're advertising. 2-4 RNAV Zulu and Yankee, 2-4 and 2-9 active. Zulu Kilo Hotel. You can contact Moncton Centre now on 124.4. Let them know your intentions.
Okay, 24-4 for Zulu Kiltel. Thanks, good day.
Take care.
You as well.
All right. We got another St. John's departure. Hopefully this one will call me before departure. Rouge is sitting there trying to figure out how to program the radio, or maybe he's trying to and he's not getting radio reception. I find that but I have no idea what frequencies to kind of suggest. Nope, he's just going to depart anyways. Well, I'll just send him another message while he's on the roll, because really, it's a controlled airport. I've only been here now for, it's been about an hour, I think, right? For 40 minutes. You'd think that is enough time for somebody to figure out how to call me. And if you can't, at least text. If you can't get a hold of somebody on the radio, text, do something. Don't just depart unilaterally. It's very annoying. This is why you got to constantly scan the airports in your airspace to see who is on the ground, who's looking for people moving unexpectedly. And I get it. The first 10, 15 minutes you're on you're flying. Or the first 10 to 15 minutes you're on the network controlling. I get it. Nobody noticed you're on. They're busy doing their own thing. But after a few minutes, you should be. After 15 minutes or so, I stop expecting people to not call me. And I'm very forgiving for about the first 15, even 30 minutes. After about 30 minutes, my patience really kind of goes to zero for people flying through your airspace, not talking to anybody. I'm just trying to think what kind of frequencies can I throw up here. I could try the Gander Centre for the St. John's approach.
Good day, Moncton Control. Speedbird Concord 003 on flight level 550 with you, and sorry for the late contact.
Speedbird 003 Moncton, hello, squawk code 3152.
Squawk 3152, Speedbird Concord 003.
I'm pretty good now. I've got everybody in my airspace except for the Concorde, who's just called me, and this guy up here at 360. Lufthansa. Concorde Speedbird 003, identified at 554. Welcome. All right. Pity Boston went offline because it's nice to have that. I guess after 30 minutes, it's safe to say that they're sleeping. Well, but Rouge is not sleeping because he departed a controlled airport. And I even pinged him when he was on the runway before, he sat there on the runway for a good 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Never responded. Never responded to my multiple attempts to get a hold of him. But at least 3 minutes he was sitting on the runway, not answering. So, yeah, that starts to bug me after that 30 minutes. It does, really. Yeah, and I see that's you. I figured the cargo jet was you, Tom. I was just, but yeah, this Rouge plane just departed St. John's. Didn't talk to anybody. I'm gonna ping him again, and it bugs me and blows me away. Like how many people fly this network and never want to call anybody, never want to talk to anybody. Anywho. Pretty impressed though for at this point, like the number of people, because these are all like this is all a big clump of en route people. This is not like people who have just logged on. Like a lot of people have probably been on the network for 4, 5, 6 hours, and most of them are here. Let's see here, just picking people at random on the VATSIM map here. 6 hours and 47 minutes online, 6 hours and 3 minutes online, 5 hours and 43 minutes online. 4 hours and 5 minutes. Like these people have all been online. Some of them just logged on, but most of them have been online for a good period of time, and they are all. Yeah, if you want to do a peaceful flight, just log off the network, and it's right there, and it's frustrating as a controller. All right, that's it. I'm done with Rouge. And if there's a communication problem, and sometimes at some of the outstations there can be communication problems, certainly by voice communication. But then the next step is to try text somebody at least and say, "Hey, I've tried to call you on the frequency. Do you hear me? Is your frequency working properly? Does it work on the ground here? Should I use text?" Do something. Do something to try and say, "Hey, I tried and it's not working. Let's work this out. Let's troubleshoot," instead of just taking off anyways. Come heck or high water. I kind of get at least the en route phase. I do get that. I do get people step away to go make a meal, go to the bathroom, grab a coffee, whatever, do something when you're on a big long en route phase like most of these guys are, like the 90% of the people in my airspace are. But nevertheless, but especially when this guy, he taxied out. He's actively sitting in front of the computer, connected to the network. Messages are going to him, and he's just choosing to completely ignore the fact that anybody's here.
Shamrock 1, Mike November, I come back in 5 minutes.
Shamrock 1, Mike November, Roger, let me know when you're back. I just wish people would pay it more attention, for sure. I mean, I will be the first to admit that I have made that mistake in the past, and I have logged on, no controllers around, And so I go and I do my whole setup and I start taxing out. It happened just the other day. I started taxing out, and then all of a sudden, as I start taxing, I get pinged, and I look, and sure enough, there somebody did log on. So maybe maybe MSFS's Copilot is flying for him. Maybe. But I will admit that I will admit that you know, I've made that mistake, but certainly if somebody sends me that contact me message within like a matter of, 30 seconds, I have responded to it. Ooh, we got somebody inbound to Fredericton, so let me put out the ATIS in Fredericton here for the benefit of this guy going in. Didn't even see him coming in, but I got lots of room to put up some ATISs here. A tie. Fredericton has no ATIS, so we'll just do runway, looks like runway 27 today, and I'm going to need runway condition reports as well. So give me a second, guys, while I pull this up on my other screen. Let's see here. All right. Or do we have it? Fredericton ATIS. And Moncton arrival from center.
Moncton Centre, this is Rouge 219. We're very, very sorry about that. We just took off from St. John's.
Rouge 219 Moncton, hello. Squawk code 3115. Confirm the altitude.
3115. We're presently passing 20,900. We're squawking. We'll be squawking 3115.
And Moncton approach from center. You got an inbound to Fredericton. Are you going to put up an ATIS there? No, I must. Oh, I do see it now. Sorry, disregard. I see it now.
Moncton Centre, good evening. This is UPS 6724. As I just started my descent from flight level 350, currently inbound to intersection point Hotel Alpha Delta Romeo India.
UPS 6724 heavy squawk ident, descend flight level 290.
Squawk ident and descent 290 UPS 6724.
Rouge 219, we're squawking at 3115 and we're passing 23,100.
UPS 6724, you're identified at 290, and for lower, you can contact Moncton Centre now on 124.4.
Over to 124.4 for Moncton Centre UPS 6724, thank you.
Rouge 219, identified climbing through 238, climb flight level 340.
Climbing maintain 340, and again, sorry about the delay.
All right, now I just have one person left.
Moncton Centre, good afternoon. Cargo Jet 427 Heavy on the ground at St. John's, apron 5, information Mike requesting IFR clearance to Halifax.
Cargojet 427, hello, you're cleared to Halifax via the St. John's 8 departure, flight plan route, depart runway 28, squawk 3151.
Clear to Halifax, St. John's 8 departure, flight plan route, runway 28, squawk 3151, Cargojet 427 Heavy.
Cargojet 427, the read back is correct. Information in St. John's is Mike. Give me a call when you're ready for taxi.
Okay, I've got Mike on board and we'll call for taxi. Thanks, Cargojet 427.
All right, BWR 100.
Shamrock 1 Mike November, I'm back.
312. Shamrock 1 Mike November, thank you. All right, he is back. All right, so, oh, and literally as he said that. All right, BWR 100 is identified. Pity that Boston is gone because all right, these guys are converging, but everyone's at different altitudes here. Let's see here. Those guys, that's fine. Which flight was delayed by 5 hours? Which one's that? From where to where? Yeah, the weather was terrible apparently, Moncton. They came 5 minutes away from dutying out on the morning flight to Toronto. Yeah, but they sat there for 5 hours, pretty much almost killed their duty day. What else have we got going on here? Not much. It's pretty organized. Everything seems to be going nicely. We have a Greenwood departure, St. John's, Moncton, Halifax. All right. I'm trying to figure out which of these, making sure I have these, okay, in the right order. So, because the one thing I have to be concerned about, 360, the Shamrock and the Delta, but I don't think they're on a, they're not on a converging course really, so I think it's good. All right. So far, everything's looking pretty good. I am looking forward to doing some flights. Pilot's life, it's been too long. It really has. And I'm sorry, everybody, for the length of time that's taken. It's been, what can I say? It's been a busy holiday season. I thought it was going to be better in January. The things that were happening prior to, I thought they were going to be over by the end of December anyways. It just didn't quite work out that way. So between that and everything else, it's just still not quite back to normal times. But I mean, we're getting back there now. At least I managed to get an ATC stream in there. Even, I mean, if you look at my hours for the month of January as a controller too, they're way down from what they normally are. Uh, it's just I haven't found the time to do much of my hobbies lately, and it's a shame because I do enjoy doing it, and I do want to do it. But sorry, what were you saying? I have. You saying what? Sorry. Yeah. Jazz can't fly their flights. All right. All right. Not too many eastbounds, though. A lot of westbounds this time of day. Not too many eastbounds.
Moncton Centre Delta 15, radio check.
Delta 15 still got you 5.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I keep hearing radio clicks, but I haven't heard anyone speak in a while. I'll double check. Thanks.
Yeah, everyone's just going the same direction, but not much is happening.
Moncton Centre, cargo jet 427, heavy ready for taxi.
Cargo jet 427, Moncton, runway 29er. Information is November and altimeter 29er, 95. Taxi Kilo and through the de-ice pad Juliet, runway 34 and hold short of 29.
Okay, I've got November on board. We'll taxi Kilo, Juliet, 34, runway 34 and hold short 29, cargo jet 47.
Moncton Centre, good afternoon. Delta 2112 with you leveled off flight level 250, direct BAFTI.
Delta 2112, Squawk Cadet.
Delta 2112, Squawk Cadet.
Delta 2112, thanks. Identified flight level 250.
Delta 2112, day firm.
Hey, this Delta 2112, he kind of cuts through that little south corner of Greenwood. Should I send him over to Moncton Low, or should I just send him straight to you? Yeah, okay. Delta 2112, the Halifax information is Alpha. Looks like you can plan on runway 23.
Halifax information, Alpha, and plan runway 23, Delta 2112.
Virgin 45 Whiskey Heavy, Moncton. You're just about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Center has closed, so you can switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have yourself a great rest of the day.
1225 for Virgin 45 Whiskey. Thanks for your splendid ATC and have a nice day. See ya.
Take care. Splendid. It's 8 p.m. in Europe, so they arrive in the middle of the night in Europe. I know. It's funny. It's. I find it funny how well this kind of simulates the real world in terms of when the rushes of traffic happen. You know, the eastbound rush of overnight traffic probably won't happen for another 3 or 4 hours, but it'll start. But yeah, it's funny how much that like this hobby with its sort of seemingly random nature still somewhat kind of correlates to the real world in a lot of weird and unexpected ways, and the traffic flow. Like on a weekend, I would expect it to be fairly realistic in terms of time frames, but on the on a weekday, who can commit this kind of time? Those of us without jobs, right? No, I have a job, I just don't have to do it today. Somebody else popped in down here. One thing I will say I've noticed a little bit lately, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's bad timing, but it doesn't seem like there's many supervisors on the network as there have been in the past. In the past, it was quite easy to always have a supervisor, almost always.
Moncton Centre, FedEx 36 Heavy, Flight level 340.
34.
All right, there were two calls at the same time there. Somebody said something about 3-4.
Yeah, it was cargo jet 427. Sorry for the step over there. Holding short, runway 29 on 34.
Cargo jet 427. Backtrack runway 29 is approved. You can contact me once you're airborne. Winds 290, 23 gusting 34. Clear for takeoff runway 28.
Okay, clear the backtrack runway 28 and clear for takeoff runway 28. We'll call you airborne cargo jet 47.
Other call for Moncton, say it. Go ahead.
FedEx 36 Heavy, Flight level 340.
FedEx 36 Heavy, Moncton, hello, squawk, tree 1.
3131 for FedEx 36 Heavy.
Delta 2112, one ready to send 10,000 on Halifax altimeter 3032.
Delta 2112, descend 10,000 on Halifax altimeter 3032.
Delta 2112, thanks, and contact the Halifax terminal now on 119.2. G'day.
119.2, Delta 2112, g'day, thanks for ATC.
Take care. Speedbird 003 Concord, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Centre has closed. Switch back to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Thank you for the very nice service. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Take care. FedEx 36 Heavy, thank you. Identified, flight level 340. Yeah, maybe it's just me and maybe it's been my timing, but lately when I've needed supervisors, I've had a hard time getting them. There have been times where I've been trying to deal with Nordo aircraft especially, and I can't find a single supervisor online to deal with it. It never used to be an issue ever. Traditionally, I've never had a problem ever getting a supervisor when I needed one. There's almost always at least a couple on the network, but I don't know if it's just bad timing, what the story is, but lately, yeah, it just seems like I hate to say they're never around because I don't want to disparage them because the work they do is great, and I do appreciate that it is all volunteer like everybody else, but I wonder if their ranks have perhaps been diminished in the last little while, that there's not as many of them around to kind of make sure there's round the clock coverage on the network. It's a thankless job, I think, in a lot of cases. Like if I don't know if any of you guys watching are actually supervisors, but if any of you are, thank you very much for keeping our network running, helping keep people regulated and under control, and just making sure that things happen the way they're supposed to happen. And 99% of the time, you don't need 99% of members you don't need supervisors for. It's only a small handful of people you actually need supervisors for. But boy, those few people need a lot of attention, apparently. But yeah, lately it seems like more and more often when I need a supervisor, there are none to be found on the network, and I'm hoping that maybe they'll beef up their ranks. I know that they do like hiring kind of binges from time to time, but I think maybe it might be time to put out a call for more volunteers again. I don't want to, I don't want to tell the network administrator how to do their job. That's just my anecdotal experience. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying I know everything about everything that goes on the network or anything or about how the whole thing is administered, but that's just been my experience for the last little while. It's when I need supervisors, they seem to be tough to find. I don't know if maybe they're just dealing with more stuff than they were dealing with before, so they can't get around to everybody's requests quicker. Maybe that's part of it. I do know that they are going to make the exam tougher if they haven't already done so here. Let's see here. Virgin 73 Quebec Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Enjoy the rest of your flight.
Over to advisory. See you next time, Virgin 73 Quebec.
Take care. Nope. Here he comes. Same supervisor as before is back. So given the fact that it took him, and I'm not trying to be critical here, but it took him, let's see here, 8 minutes to respond to my request. And it's not again, I hate to, and there he goes now. The aircraft's gone offline. I hate to be you know, super critical of these people because they do voluntary work and it's good work they do, but at the same time, yeah,
Moncton Centre, cargo jet 427 heavy passing 2,400.
Cargo jet 427 Moncton. I can't get radar contact that low. Continue climb flight level 280, and you can proceed direct to TechSed on course.
Okay, we'll climb 280 and direct TechSed on course, cargo jet 47 heavy.
Thank you very much. I'll let you know as soon as I see you on the radar.
Roger.
Yeah. And I just wonder, yeah, if these guys are being overwhelmed because I know that I was talking to the network president the other day. Well, it's probably a week or two ago now, but like, yeah, they're going to make the entrance exam for VATSIM tougher because there's a lot of novice people on the network for the last little while, especially from 2024. I'll thank him for the hard work he does and acknowledge that it is it's a thankless job, unfortunately. But yeah, so I get that we had a discussion about this for some time, and yeah, apparently this has become a pretty common issue with people not following various. It's not even so much the away time. The away time, I think, is part of it. I think the bigger part of it is people who are inexperienced with operating airplanes and operating around airports, not knowing what to do. That has become the problem on the VATSIM network. So yeah, they are going to make the entrance exam a fair bit tougher. If anybody is actually an experienced pilot, apparently it shouldn't take much longer than the previous exam, but it is going to be quite a bit tougher. They're going to make the course a little bit more, uh, maybe a little bit more detailed, or maybe not in depth, but a little bit more detailed, so that people know what to expect. All right, this Air Canada 610 is making me nervous because he's getting close to his top of drop, and I have to hand him off. I have to give him a descent and hand him off in a very short order. So I kind of need him to call me sooner than later. This guy I'm not so concerned about with, but I will eventually get the supervisor on him if he does not answer. Okay, this guy's going to Montreal, so he's going up through Mound. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's good. That's good.
Moncton Centre, Air Canada 609, climbing passing flight level 170 to 320.
Air Canada 609, hello, climb flight level 360.
Going up to 360, Air Canada 609.
Cargo jet 427, squawk dense, passing altitude.
Okay, we'll squawk Denton. We're passing 11,500.
Cargo jet 427, perfect, thank you. You are identified now through 12,000. You can proceed direct, go direct Agmere.
Direct Agmere, cargo jet 47.
Cargo jet 427, climb flight level 340.
Climb flight level 340, cargo jet 427.
Yeah, so I heartily endorse making the exam a little bit tougher. If I don't want it to be like too tough, and I am a little conflicted about it because I do like the nature of the network. It's a friendly network where we're trying to learn and we're trying to educate ourselves and other people and you know and get better. So I hesitate to say let's make the exam like a stumper where nobody can pass it, and I don't think that is the intention. I think the intention is just to make it a little bit harder, not overly hard, but a little bit harder so that you do have to really read the knowledge, read the presentations, the lessons, know and understand the basics of flying. You don't have to be like an expert, but you need to know some of the basics and be able to handle your aircraft. You know, it's funny, but the last little while, my brother's been kind of getting into this a little bit too. He has flight sim. He has the fly-by-wire 320. He's been flying that around a little bit. He really loves it. Doesn't have a whole lot of time for it, so I've been kind of helping him out with it a little bit. But and I would like to get him on this network, and I think he would really enjoy it and get some benefit out of it, flying with other people. But I definitely don't think he's ready for it yet. He's very new to the idea of flight simulation, very new to flying the airplane. It's all he can do to sort of get the airplane to its destination. But so I want him to be able to get on this network though at some point in the future and be able to learn and move forward and have fun with it because it's a fun network to be on. It really truly is. So I hope I think it'll be a bit of a challenge, and I hope that certainly that the powers that be in the VATSIM network will sort of look at the exam results and make sure that they make sense, make sure that they are, that the questions are an appropriate level of difficulty for what we're trying to achieve here. All right, let's see here. KLM 641. All right. All right. Send him the ACARS message to log off and switch to Unicom. As soon as I get the supervisor, oh, Air Canada 610 disappeared. And the response is pretty quick. Wilco. All right, so he got the message that he's leaving my airspace, and off he goes. The only trouble is this Air Canada 609 is going to cross a whole bunch of airplanes at 360. Looks like he will pass behind them. Okay, good. Just got to keep an eye on these people. Good point for me that I start now again after 3 months or so. Yeah, you know what? It's not a bad thing for anybody who's willing to put in the effort. I don't think it's going to be a hard test to pass. I don't think so. You got to read it and you got to kind of understand it, but I don't think it's going to be a hard test to pass. It's just, I think the idea is to really get people who are not willing to put in some effort. And sadly, there are lots of people on that list. All right. That is the Wilco. That's the log off. And we're done. KLM 641's gone. Just people who take the network too casually. And we don't want it to be a network where nobody is welcome on, but just want everyone to kind of make sure that people can work together, because that is the one thing that's, I think I've said that before on stream, and I'll say it 100 times, like, I tend not to get supervisors involved until I think someone's going to really be impacting someone else's operation or enjoyment of the network. So I've tightened my criteria a little bit, and like 30 minutes Nordo is a sign that probably you're not paying enough attention to what's going on. Delta 237 Heavy, your leave my airspace to the west. Boston Center has closed. You can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great flight.
Switching to en route frequency, Delta 237. Thanks very much for the service. Have a great day.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Certainly, the second
Moncton Centre, pleasant good afternoon. West 243, just passing level 1804230.
WestJet 243, Moncton, hello. Let me try this again. WestJet 243, hello, climb flight level 360.
360 for WestJet 243.
Spit out the wrong words here. Air Canada 609, what's your Mach number?
Canada 609, we're Mach 0.79.
Air Canada 609, thanks for traffic. Maintain Mach 0.79 or greater.
Maintain speed, Air Canada 609.
WestJet 243. When you transition, maintain Mach 0.79 or less for traffic ahead.
Alright, on transition, Mach 0.79 or less for WestJet 243, sorry.
Thank you. Air Canada 857 Heavy, or leave my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great day. Air Canada 857 Heavy, Moncton.
Moncton, good day, Can Force 3256, 225 in the climb for 280.
Can Force 3256 Moncton, hello. Climb flight level 340.
Flight level 340, Can Force 3256.
He may be conflicting with more traffic than, than the other guys. It's supposed to go to 38, so let's just see how this climb goes. Air Canada 857 Moncton. Well, if he doesn't want to be on my frequency, then to heck with him. But now this guy is the next guy. 13 minutes so far. I'm kind of dropping my criteria down. I used to be like 30 minutes and then I'll start walloping you. Now I'm getting down to more like 20 minutes. If you're not present for 20 minutes from the time I first try to contact you, chances are you didn't stand up at the moment I hit contact me the first time. You probably have been away for longer than that. And certainly if you're hitting landfall, you got to think that there's definitely a chance controller. There's a chance controllers going to be online anytime. Like I will say that I walk away from the computer all the time when I'm flying these longer flights, these 3, 4, 5, 6 hour flights. I walk away from the computer all the time, but I never leave it unattended. If I walk away, I come back within 5 to 10 minutes to see if anybody else is there. And I constantly have like I'm a little bit paranoid about it. I'm a little bit paranoid about getting caught, with not being online when you're not being at the computer when you're online. So, I will step away and I will eat lunch and I'll go to the bathroom and I'll do all those kind of things. But like, especially if I'm kind of making lunch and it's taking me more than 5 or 10 minutes, if I'm not running downstairs, I'm at least either looking at the VATSIM map on my device, on my phone, on my tablet, or I also have a remote desktop for my computer, so I'll log into the remote desktop and just watch on my phone and make sure that I'm not getting any message on there. Like I definitely don't step away for like an hour and just unattended. But it seems, I mean, I shouldn't complain because like out of the number of airplanes that I have here, I've only had like 3 that have not responded to me at all, and a 4th that like didn't respond to me until he was airborne. So I won't, most people have called me within 5, 10 minutes at the outside. There's only been like 3 aircraft so far that have taken more than like 10 minutes to get a hold of me in the last half hour. So the overall compliance rate is really good. It's just disappointing.
Moncton Centre, good day, KLM 6595, flight level 360.
KLM 695 Moncton, hello, squawk code 3126.
Squawking 3126, KLM 695.
All right, we got a request by ACARS for ZAP 806 up to 380. KLM 695 Heavy, thank you. Identified at flight level 360. Welcome. I feel like Moncton is one of those places too, though. Don't do these many long haul flights these days. Last one I did get a message from VATSIM Soup to check I was there, and I was. And I have gotten that in the past, for sure. Absolutely. And again,
KLM 695 acres online today.
KLM 695 affirmative. Log on Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, the key is like we're all trying to get along on this network together and make sure that when we need to be, we're there. And that's the biggest thing is that you're not leaving it unattended for hours and hours, sailing through people's airspace. Like I used to work Edmonton, and I'd see people, I'd be online for 3 to 4 hours, and these people would be in my airspace the whole time and not answer once. And I used to be pretty laissez-faire about it. I'd live and let live, whatever, no big deal. But I've become more frustrated with it. WestJet 243 Moncton. You're going to be following this traffic up ahead. They're going to Montreal, but you're going to be on the same route for at least the next 150 miles. Are you okay with Mach 79? I can also offer you a different altitude if you'd like to cancel the speed restriction.
No, we can slow to Mach 0.79 now. But when you said on the transition, we thought you meant when we leveled off at cruise. But no, we can certainly amend that right now. It's not an issue on our end for WestJet 243.
Yeah, WestJet 243. It's fine as long as you do it in the cruise. That's fine. You're not too close behind them. I just don't want you catching up. If you're happy with the 79, then I'll leave you at 360 then.
That's no problem. Just give us a few seconds here and we'll amend it in our FMC. We'll do that for you now. That's no problem. WestJet 243.
Thank you. All right. There's KLM 695. Accept the login on the CPDLC. Go ahead. West of Halifax? East of Halifax. Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see an unconfirmed. Looks like Air Canada 242. Okay, let me know if send him over to me if you get a hold of him, I guess. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay, got it. Lufthansa 410 Super. You're leaving my airspace to the west. The Boston Centre is not online now. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great flight.
Switching frequency 122.8 Lufthansa 410 Super. Thank you for the service. Bye bye.
All right. See, now this guy is becoming a conflict. And Delta 743, are you on frequency? Delta 743 Moncton, are you on frequency? Delta 743, this is Moncton Centre on guard. If you read Moncton Centre, come up on 132.2. That's for Delta 743, 132.2. Second here.
Moncton Centre from 356 Heavy with you, full 0.
Air France 356, squawk code 3137. Another.
Moncton Centre, did you read us?
And Air France 356, I read you 5. How do you read me? All right. Sorry. So, sorry, who was logging off? Okay. Let me know when you guys are just about to head off. Can force 3256. Climb flight level 360.
Flight level 360 now for Can Force 3256.
Air France 356.
Air France 356. Moncton, I read you 5. How do you read me?
Air France 356 heavy, yes, night works.
Air France 356, perfect, thank you. Squawk code 3137.
Squawking 3137.
Okay.
Delta 743, flight level 220 with you.
Delta 743, Moncton, hello. I think we talked before. You should be squawking code 3413.
3413.
Air France 356, you're identified at flight level 350. Welcome. For direction of flight, you need to be in an even altitude now. Do you want to go up to 36 or down to 34?
Yes, I was about to ask you for a step climb, but 360 over Air France 356 heavy.
Air France 356 heavy, climb flight level 360 when you can. Let me know what your Mach number is going to be at 360.
Roger. So we're climbing Air France 356, we're climbing flight level 360, and we're going to be at Mach 85.
Air France 356, perfect. Maintain Mach decimal 85 or less. You've got traffic following you at the same level, so just let me know before you slow down for any reason.
Roger, so climbing 360, maintaining 0.85 or less, and we'll tell you when we start to slow down Air France 356.
And Air France 356, I think I misspoke. I meant to say Mach decimal 85 or faster, please.
Yes, I was realizing it didn't make sense as they were behind me. I just repeated, but it's correct. So 85 or more Air France 356 heavy. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. KLM 695, you might see traffic. It's about 25 miles ahead on the same track, just climbing up to 360 now. So for you, also Mach decimal 85 or less for traffic.
Got the traffic inside, Mach decimal 85 or less, KLM 695, doing 84 now.
Perfect, thank you. Delta 624 Moncton, you're leaving my airspace to the east. Oceanic sector's not online. Switch to the honored frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Switch to surveillance for Delta 624 heavy. Thanks for the ATC. Bye-bye.
And Can Force 3256, traffic's no longer conflict. Climb flight level 380.
Flight level 380, Can Force 3256.
And Delta 743, are you squawking a code 3413?
I am now.
Delta 743, thanks. You're identified climbing through 297. Climb flight level 410.
Climb 410.
Too many people abusing it. Yeah, hour chasers. Well, I think part of it, I think it's the VAs. Like, people have to be logged on to networks for certain VAs. And I think that's where the problem comes in, is that the VAs only will accept your flights if you're logged into the network, and thus it's kind of a provable, trackable way of doing it. But yeah, then people just you know, part of the point, the whole point why the VAs want you logged on the network is they want you flying the flight, and they want some proof that you flew the flight. And if you're not at the computer, you're not really flying the flight. Well, if the autopilot's doing it, but you're not. Anyways, okay, so Moncton and Halifax are going to be closing their terminals soon, so I should probably start pulling up some views here. So let me just see here if I've got Halifax approach. Perfect. And Halifax ground, because they're both a little bit busy, not terribly busy, but yeah, there's a few airplanes here and there. So I want to make sure I'm ready for these. I don't think anything's happened in Moncton, so I'm not going to.
Moncton Centre, good day, Iberia 347, ready to deliver.
Iberia 347, Moncton. Hello, squawk code 3167, please.
7 inbox.
Moncton West at 243, we're just seeing if we can request an early switch over to Unicom here for en route.
WestJet 243, I've got no conflicts and Boston is offline, so yeah, if you want to switch the on frequency, surveillance service terminates, and have yourself a great rest of the flight.
You have yourself a great night as well. Thanks so much for ATC. Always a pleasure. I will see you next time for WestJet 243.
Take care. And Iberia 347, the squawk should be 3167.
On that 317.
Iberia 347, thanks. You're identified at flight level 320. You are a little bit off, far off the coast. That's why the radio reception is bad. It will get better as you get closer to the mainland. CanForce 3256 heavy. You're leaving my airspace to the west. Boston Center's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Sure, thanks. 22 CanForce 3256. Always a pleasure. Take care.
I knew what you were.
Air France 356 heavy. Do you have CPDLC available?
Air France 356 affirmative. Log on Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike.
Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike. Thank you, Air France 356 heavy.
Yeah, I see that now. I kind of wasn't paying attention, and I should have picked up on that. But everyone's going westbound actually at pretty slow speeds. I mean, this Rouge is at 320 ground speed. You're at 330 ground speed in the 6-7. Like, I kind of didn't pick up on that. But yeah, the westbound flights especially. And then you get the eastbound flight. This guy here, Delta 624, he's doing 590 knots and a 330 eastbound with the ground speed. Yeah, the wind right now is just absolutely whipping at altitude. 100. You've probably got about 100 knots on the nose, I would think. Yeah, there it is, 147s. Yeah, everybody westbound is the same. It's the same boat. They're all in my airspace for a long time today. Excuse me, because of that, just that wind there. Okay, how are we doing here? All right, so they're fine. They're fine. I don't see any conflicts there. They're all at different altitudes. He's fine. He's fine. So far, so good. We got a couple of departures out of Halley. When these guys are all log off, I'll pick up their. Doesn't look like anything. Okay, so it looks like the Moncton low logged off, but there was nobody there. So I'll just put that ATIS back up again. Let's see here. Moncton ATIS. Moncton, there it is. So now they're up to Lima. Looks like it's pretty much unchanged. Same information. I'm just going to bump it up to Lima and be done with it. I will say, like, I am still pretty happy overall with the compliance rate. Most people are calling when I ping them. It's just a few outliers here and there, but it's frustrating. And that guy, especially because he's starting to cross. All right. Have a good night. I guess it's still afternoon, isn't it? It's still daytime. I'm so used to saying have a good night when I'm streaming. It's not streaming. It's not good night time. All right, here comes an ACARS message for me, and this appears to be a login request from Air France 356. I got to start marking these guys down, because otherwise I will forget who's on CPDLC. All right, so Air France 356 login accepted. So who do I have on CPDLC now? I've got Air France 356, ZAP 806, and KLM 6905. Mark them all down so I can remember who's on CPDLC here. Cargo jet 427 Moncton. The Halifax info is Bravo, runway 23 right now.
Okay, with Bravo for Division of Halifax, and we'll expect runway 23, Cargojet 47 Max.
We got this whole wagon train of people coming in over here. Batman. Call sign. Nothing. United and a Shamrock. Air Canada 609 Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Centre is offline. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Moncton Centre, thank you very much for the ATC. Switching to Unicom, Air Canada 609. Have a good night.
Good night. And the funny thing about when I control too is I always tend to get jealous of the people flying when I'm controlling, and I tend to get jealous of the people controlling when I'm flying. I always want to be on the other side of the coin. I'm always like, and most of the time when I control, I usually do it places where I don't have my own, where I don't have my gaming computer available to me. I do it on the road, so nobody, so it's like it's not really a choice. All right, we got a PDC here, KLM 695 request, flight level 380, pilot's discretion, step climb flight level 380. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that, so yeah, nobody.
Moncton Centre, hello. Metro 1012 Heavy, flight level 350.
Metro 1012 Heavy, Moncton, hello, Squawk Cadet. Metro 1012 Heavy, thanks, identify, flight level 350. All right, I guess nobody's moving yet. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so 87 Tango asked if he was clearing my airspace. I said 30 more minutes. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, nobody's making progress against the headwind. He says it's not even that bad for this time of year, which is true. It's not. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. All right, the Halifax status is back up. That's good. Who else have we got here? All right. Start pinging some of these people over here on the east side. Then I did get an ACARS message flashing at me as well. KLM 695 said we'll go. Perfect. Air France 356, the traffic behind you has now climbed to another level. Your speed restriction is cancelled.
Speed restriction cancelled for Air France 356 Heavy, thank you.
Oh, I forgot he was CPDLC. All right. All right. So I sent him, what message did I send him?
Shamrock 1, Mike November, ready for descent.
Shamrock 1, Mike November, 1 ready to send flight level 290.
290, Shamrock 1, Mike November.
United.
$11 with you at flight level 340.
$11. Let's see, there you are. Squawk code 3172.
$3172.11.
United 927, Moncton, are you here? $11 heavy, you're identified, flight level 360, welcome.
Roger that, thank you.
All right, so the Halifax low closed now, or the Halifax terminal closed now, so now it's all me. Enjoying XP12, flight factor 767 currently, especially when it behaves itself, an older add-on, but still holds up. Bit of a change from FS 2020. Yeah, I gotta say, like 2020 has been.
Good afternoon, United 927, flight level 350, inbound Sifu.
United 927, Moncton, hello, squawk, ident, please.
Ident 927.
Yeah, and for the most part, I'm usually very happy with MSFS 2020, but actually there's that one incident that happened, and I think it was last weekend. I'm pretty sure it was last weekend where all of a sudden something went haywire with the 2020 servers. Who is this guy, and where did he come from? Air France 356 Moncton. I had a target just suddenly appear on the radar about, it's not even 5 miles behind you, same level. Not talking to him yet. I'm trying to get a hold of him.
Roger, so currently, do we have any restriction in place for us right now?
Air France 356, nope, just as quickly as he appeared, he's gone, so I'm not sure what he was doing there.
Okay, roger that. Thank you, Air France 356.
United 927 Heavy Toronto, or Moncton, you're identified flight level 350.
Got it.
Delta 743, you should see traffic about your 12 o'clock for a couple of miles passing westbound underneath you, indicating 340, not talking to them yet. Yeah, I was very ticked off. So it was last weekend, I think, that they had MSFS had a server issue, and it was just the update system. But everybody, when they'd start up the sim, FS 2020 checks to see if there's an update available, and for whatever reason, it was not recognizing the server was not. making good contact, or I don't know what the deal was. You know, whether it was not getting an answer or whether it was just simply not giving the right reply, but you couldn't get past the updating screen. Nothing you could do could get you past the updating screen. And it took them several hours. I thought it was on my end, so I started doing all sorts of stuff, messing with my installation, looking for help online. It was incredibly frustrating. Shamrock 1 Mike November, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Shamrock 1, Mike November, sorry, say again.
Shamrock 1 Mike November, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Shamrock 1 Mike November, I live on your airspace and I still in your frequency.
And Shamrock 1 Mike November, you can switch to the en route frequency and enjoy the rest of your flight.
Thank you, Shamrock 1 Mike November.
Moncton Centre, Canada 892, 743, request out of cockpit for a couple of minutes.
All right, who wanted out of the flight deck?
I need to go away for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, the call sign was blocked. Who is that calling?
Delta 743.
Delta 743, actually, I was going to call you right about now. You're leaving my airspace to the east, so you can go to the en route frequency. Your surveillance service terminates, and have a safe flight.
Thank you. Have a good day. Delta 743.
Who else is calling?
Air Canada 892.
Air Canada 892, Moncton Centre. Hello, squawk a code of 3125.
3125, Air Canada 892.
All right, and then the Zap 806 is leaving my airspace, so I'm going to send him back to Unicom. Let's see here.
Moncton, good afternoon. Shamrock 124 Heavy, level 370.
Just stand by one moment. Monitor Unicom and log off my CPDLC, please. All right, Shamrock 124 Moncton Centre. Sorry about that. Squawk ident. Shamrock 124 Heavy. Thanks. Identified. Flight level 370. Welcome. And Air Canada 892, thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 340. Welcome. Okay. Lots of stuff going on here.
Air France 356, just a quick question. What is the en route frequency? Is it like the new Unicom?
Air France 356, yeah, in most cases it would be the Unicom frequency 228.
Okay, roger. Thank you.
Cargojet 427 Moncton, when ready, descend flight level 290.
When ready, descend flight level 290, Cargojet 427.
Gander, hello. Challenger November 8 X-ray Foxtrot 375, climbing 390.
November 8 X-ray Foxtrot Moncton Centre, hello, squawk ident. November 8 X-ray Foxtrot, thanks, identified, climb flight level 390.
Climb flight level 390, November 8 X-ray Foxtrot.
All right, that is, okay, ZAP 806 acknowledged. And KLM 695 is gone, so he's gone now. KLM 695 logged off, so I can remove the uplink because he's not going to happen. Okay, yeah, it was so frustrating. So I spent probably 2 to 3 hours reading forums, removing all of my community content folder from MSFS, trying to figure out why all of a sudden I was not able to load FS 2020. And it was only after like about 3 hours that I was finally they posted on the Microsoft Flight Simulator forums that there was a problem with the system, and that yeah, people were not able to log in, and that they were looking into it. But it took them hours to even post this. So meantime, like the rest of us were So you know, like, and there were hundreds, probably thousands of people who were not able to use their sim because the update process broke. I like that is just so typical example of exactly why we shouldn't have these systems that force connectivity and force updates, force you to check for updates, and you won't even activate the software, won't even run the software if an update check has not been performed. So frustrating.
Delta 48 is with Moncton Centre.
And sorry, who was with the Moncton Centre?
Delta 48.
Delta 48. Hello, squawk ident, please. Delta 48, thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 330. Welcome. Yeah, oh, such a frustrating process. I ended up deleting about half of my FS 2020 install, and then I had to reinstall it, and then, you know, probably spent about 90 minutes to 2 hours re-downloading it because I didn't know what was going on. I thought my installation was completely, you know, was completely screwed. And it turns out, no, it wasn't me. It was Asobo and Microsoft and their servers that broke and didn't, yeah, and took a long time to even acknowledge it and tell anybody that there was a problem. It was, it was so frustrating. I was not impressed at all. I was just trying to do a flight, and like, I was just trying to do a flight. I was trying to log in and do one flight, maybe 2 or 3 hours. Instead, I spent probably about collectively 4 or 5 hours, including the reinstallation that day.
Moncton Centre, Arakan 6711, request taxi to runway 23.
Air Canada 6711 Moncton, runway 23, the information Bravo, altimeter 3032. Taxi apron, your discretion. Golf, Foxtrot, Lima, cross runway 14.
Roger, taxi via Golf, Fox, cross runway 14, Lima, offshore runway 23, Canada 6711.
Yeah, oh, I was so, it takes a lot of time to troubleshoot these things. Yes, it took, I spent probably twice as much time as I had originally hoped to go flying for, troubleshooting my sim, trying to get it to work again, and then rebuilding it after I found out that, oh, it was a Sobo screw up that I was now trying to deal with the fallout from. Oh, I was so ticked off because I had brutalized my installation, removed a whole bunch of stuff. So even when I reset it, then I had to reset a whole bunch of settings to get everything back the way it was. Like, a whole bunch of settings got deleted. It was just such a frustrating experience. And why? Why is, you know, if the update fails, then just let the sim run. If there's no data with the server, if it can't connect to the server and get valid information about whether or not there's an update available, just let the sim run. Don't hang it up and say, well, no, if we can't contact the server, you're never allowed to play this. That is exactly the wrong attitude. It's exactly what's wrong with so much software development in this day and age. So frustrating to deal with. FedEx 36 Heavy Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Delta 15 Heavy Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Over to you, Delta 15. Have a good one.
Take care. Air Canada 87 Tango, same for you. About to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the en frequency and surveillance terminates. My throat is already dying here. FedEx 36 Moncton.
Sorry, FedEx 36.
FedEx 36, you're just about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Centre has gone offline. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Going to Unicom, FedEx 36 Heavy. Have a nice night.
Good night. Air Canada 87 Tango Moncton. Lufthansa 414 Moncton, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Boston Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Switching to the en route, Lufthansa 414 Super.
Take care.
Moncton Centre, Cafe 11 Delta, flight level 290.
First, Air Canada 6711 Moncton. Contact me once you're airborne. Halifax winds 230 at 11. Clear for takeoff, runway 23. Okay, Cathay 811 Delta, squawk ident. Did I mute myself? Cathay 811 Delta Moncton, squawk ident.
Squawk ident, Cafe 11 Delta.
Yeah, I spent twice as much time troubleshooting as I'd actually planned to be online for, or fly for. So it was such a frustrating experience. I was so ticked off. Air Canada 6711, contact me airborne, winds 240 at 10, clear for takeoff, runway 23.
Clear for takeoff, runway 23. Air Canada 6711.
Moncton Centre, good afternoon. Speedbird 115 inbound, Lumsey, flight level 350.
Speedbird 115, Moncton Centre, hello, squawk code 3162.
3162 in the box, Speedbird 115.
Seems like the rush of westbound traffic has kind of ended now. Still got some. Definitely not saying it's all gone, but definitely there's starting to be more eastbounds than westbounds now. Always an interesting change. As the day wears on and the shift goes on, and it's not that much stuff going on the ground, but that's fine. There's enough traffic in my space to kind of definitely keep me focused on what's going on here. And what have I been? 2 hours now online, give or take. So I've probably got at least one more hour in me. If it's not getting too exciting another hour, I may pull the plug. Gotta go to bed super early tonight because I gotta get up at a ridiculously early hour. So I do have to stop drinking caffeine probably within the next hour so I can go to bed ridiculously early. Stupid early. Speedbird 115 Heavy, thank you. Identified, flight level 350. Welcome aboard. Which is why I kind of got this afternoon session on. I'd much rather do an evening session because I think you get more traffic, although I am very satisfied with the amount of traffic I've got. It's mostly overflight, so it's not like it's hectic, but it's nevertheless, it's enough to certainly keep me on my toes, interested in what's going on, trying to keep track of everything here. So this guy's going to cross 39, which is fine.
Center, confirm, identify for Cafe 11.
Cathay 811 Delta, yes, I'm sorry if I didn't say it. You are identified, flight level 290.
Roger, Cafe 11 Delta. Thank you.
All right. We got the Moncton, the Halifax stuff going on, but there's not that much stuff going on in Halifax. It's relatively quiet. Who have I got on CPDLC still? Just the only one is the Air France 356. The only one left on CPDLC for now. It's definitely interesting when you've got things to do and things to look at. And this is definitely one of the busier sessions I think I've ever done on Moncton Centre. I've done some pretty sleepy ones on Moncton. This is a good time. The Europeans all crossing the pond.
Moncton Centre, Air Canada 6711, takeoff runway 23. Halting 2000 feet, request turning left to India Golf Tango Alpha 0 point.
Air Canada 6711 Moncton. Before I can do anything, you got to turn the transponder on, please. I'm showing standby.
Oh, roger, 2 seconds.
Air Canada 6711. Perfect, there you are. Identified through 4000. Climb climb flight level 230 and turn left direct IGTAS on course.
Roger. Climb to flight level 230. Fly to Actars, Arcana 6711.
Roger.
Moncton, good afternoon. American 3255 miles southwest of Mills, flight level 350, hello.
American 32, Moncton Centre, hello, squawk it in.
American 32.
American 32, identified, flight level 350. Thank you for the early call before crossing the boundary.
American 32, thanks.
Since most people seem to wait until after the boundary or after I send them a message to call me. And if you read the VATSIM code of conduct, I'm pretty sure it says that like pilots...
Moncton Centre, Rouge 219, can I step away for 2-3 minutes?
Rouge 219, that is approved. Let me know when you're back.
I'll buzz you back, thank you.
Merci. Yeah, I'm trying to find it here, but I'm pretty sure pilots, general rules of conduct for pilots. Pilots shall monitor flights at all, B3A, pilots shall monitor their flights at all times. It's responsible for the pilot to check for and make timely contact with appropriate air traffic controllers. This includes making prompt contact when requested to do so. Pilots shall be attentive to their aircraft and ATC and respond to instructions without delay. It is the responsibility of the pilot to check for and make timely contact with appropriate air traffic controllers. To me, I would say that's got to be before you even enter my airspace.
Center Cafe 11 Delta would like to request flight level 310.
Cathay 811 Delta, that's approved. Climb flight level 310.
Climb flight level 310, Cafe 11 Delta.
To me, that means like before I contact you, you have a responsibility to contact me. So if you see the boundary coming and you know there's ATC online, call before you cross the boundary. Don't wait till you cross the boundary. Call 2 or 3 minutes. Like normally if you were in controlled airspace being handed off to another controller, you would be transferred to the next frequency a couple of minutes before you actually cross the boundary in most cases. The same thing should be true when you're going from Unicom to controlled airspace. You should be contacting the next controller a couple minutes before you cross the boundary. In most cases, you're not doing anything on Unicom anyways. I can tell you, this guy, American 32, he's probably not making any calls on Unicom as he passes that point there. I get it if you're leaving an airport, then that's fine. That's cool. Like if you're taking off from an uncontrolled airport or you're in the next airspace with an airport that's not being controlled right now, I get it. But like, yeah, it shouldn't be like wait until the controller prompts you. The part of it is you should be looking for and yeah, what am I trying to say here? Yeah, it should be, you should be calling before you cross that boundary anyways. It shouldn't be waiting until you get to contact me. The contact me is almost too late. Now, in some cases where maybe you're confused about the boundaries, okay, like, and I'm not saying that like you can't wait for it, but I think more pilots should be more proactive to call before they cross the boundary, before they get a message. As soon as you think you're crossing the boundary, as soon as you think you're at least a few minutes away from the boundary, start calling. I think most controllers would rather have pilots call them who aren't in their airspace than have the people who are in their airspace not call. What are the other interesting ones here? Pilot must be familiar and proficient with the operation of the aircraft prior to connecting to VATSIM network and should comply with all readback air traffic control and clearances or instructions. When unable to do so, air traffic control must be notified without delay. Pilots who aren't familiar with an airspace shall educate themselves by first observing operations and or studying procedures used in that location. A pilot is expected to undergo reasonable preparation for their intended flight and potential diversions. This includes basic familiarization with arrival, departure, airports, departure, arrival procedures, and their planned route. Pilots shall familiarize themselves with airspace structure to prevent infringement of controlled or restricted airspace. Pilots should select aircraft that are capable of utilizing intended airports. Yeah. There's a lot of responsibilities put on the pilots, and I mean, it's not crazy. It's just be aware of what you're capable of and be capable of it. Why am I not seeing this guy? And Air Canada 6711, looks like your transponder's gone off again. If you can make sure it's back in mode C. Air Canada 6711 Moncton, the transponder looks like it's gone back to standby again. Make sure you're squawking mode Charlie, please. Or not. Just ignore me completely. It's fine.
Moncton Centre, Panda 6711. I need offline right now, so I just tell you I will disappear on the radar.
Air Canada 6711, I missed out. You said you're going to go offline now?
I need to go offline. I need to quit the game. I got something need to do right now. Canada 6711.
Air Canada 6711, okay. Thanks for flying, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Moncton Centre, Rouge 219, back with you.
Rouge 219, merci. Look at the difference between eastbound and westbound airplanes. See, each of these dashes here is a minute. So I've got 5 minutes drawn on each airplane. So look at how far American 32 is going to make it in 5 minutes. Look at how far Rouge 219 is going to make it in 5 minutes. The difference between the eastbounds and the westbounds is just hilarious today. Same thing with Cargojet here. Very short 5 minutes window. All these eastbounds, look at the size of their 5-minute windows. Crazy. What other good rules are in the Code of Conduct? Pilots shall be expected to promptly comply with basic air traffic control instructions include holding position on the ground at an airport, flying a speed, heading, altitude, or flight level, approach to land either visually or flying an accepted instrument approach procedure, 1 IFR, fly a cleared route by use of navigation aids, waypoints, and fly to unplanned navigation aids and waypoints when instructed, and 1 IFR, fly a holding pattern. Tom GT says, I try to contact before entering airspace, though, even if I get sent back. You know, and it is a, there's definitely a, you know, a balance. You don't want to be contacting people when you're 100 miles outside their airspace, because chances are they may not even see you, depending on their zoom level and where you are relative to their airspace. They may not even see you at 100 miles back. But I think most controllers would prefer you err on the side of call a little bit early than call late. Call before you cross that boundary, and the excuses are disappearing. I've got to say, like, I'm very impressed now. So if you guys haven't seen it, map.vatsim.net has now been converted from SimAware to VATSIM Radar, and my gosh, it's fantastic. So let's have a look at it, guys, because we haven't looked at this for a while here. Let's see if I can see this, something like that. There we go. So this is the VATSIM. This is VATSIM Radar now. So this is map.vatsim.net. This is what you get. This is our airspace here. You can see all the airplanes in here, and you can see a very detailed outline of my airspace. But if I scroll around here, even for the terminal units, you know what? This is, oh, I know why this is showing weird. Okay. Anyways, but even the terminal units. So look at this. We have Providence and, you know, Nantucket approach on here. And look, it's no longer a circle. Even you look at the New York controllers, it's not a circle. The very specific boundaries that have been delineated by the various air traffic control organizations are now very specifically drawn on these maps here. Much more accurate and precise than the previous like VATSPY or anything that came before that. A very, very precise map now. So it's very impressive. This tool is fantastic now. And there's so much information available. So just to use an example of this FedEx 36, who's a good pilot to me, but just to show what he's doing. So you got all his information here. Important things.
Moncton Speedbird 115, any chance we can get flight level 360?
And Speedbird 115, affirmative, climb flight level 360. I missed that. Shoot, wasn't paying attention.
Flight level 360, speed 115.
But really useful things, besides having their route, and their actual route is drawn on here now. It's not just a straight line, but they actually draw the actual route they've flown. You know, and useful things like the amount of time they've been online and so forth. Even this is really kind of a lot of this information is aimed at controllers to be able to really quickly pull up information about the pilot. So I can see that he doesn't have a license, but or he hasn't at least applied to have a license, any pilot training here, but he's got 738 hours total time on the network. I had no problem with his flying. His flying was great. You can see how long he's been online for. He's been online for 1 hour and 9 minutes. So obviously he logged off at some point during his flight and is logged on again. And he's also got, it shows you the squawk code and the communication frequency. If he's got multiple communication frequencies, it'll list them all here. So I can see he's on Unicom. I can see who's on my frequency. I can see who's listing on the correct frequency, which is super helpful. You can see the whole route here. So you can see the route he's flown. In this case, it had, because he was logged off, it didn't track him when he was logged off. So it just kind of directs does direct between those points. But you can focus on his flight path here. You can track him. You can view. You can go directly to stats, and you can even send to other people. Um, you can also pin aircraft and have like favorite aircraft saved on your network. So if you connect it here and save your login ID, you can actually connect favorite facilities to easily center on your favorite facilities or your favorite pilots, your friends. You can see what your friends are doing, that sort of stuff. It's really awesome. Tons and tons of great information on here. So you know, you can show labels of states and countries and things like that. You can choose different uh, you know, different base maps. There's so many options available. This is really fantastic. The precipitation, as you can see, I've got the precipitation here in green. I could turn that off. I could do wind vectors, so you can see the nice strong winds that everyone in this area is pushing against, trying to get from place to place. Or you could just do just the clouds, not necessarily the radar, but the clouds. Even select a different amounts of transparency so you can see through it. Filter so you only see airplanes inbound or outbound from your favorite airports if you're a
Moncton
controller.
Centre, cargo jet 427, finally about to start a descent to flight level 290.
Cargojet 427, thank you very much for that. Descend 10,000, the Halifax altimeter 3031, information Charlie now.
Descend 10,000, information Charlie on board, cargo jet 427.
So you can set up your own bookmarks. You can set up the traffic to how often the updates happen. So right now you can have it happen every 15 seconds, or you can turn it down. Another neat one that I saw here was there was a there was a traffic heat map somewhere. Where did the traffic heat map go? Here it is, traffic heat map. So you can just sort of see where there's lots of airplanes versus not. So you can see lots of airplanes here in the New York area, a few in Halifax, a few near Quebec City. Otherwise, not much happening here. If we scroll over to Europe, where of course it's evening time right now and there's tons of people, give it a second for it to load and look at the heat maps here where you can see where the aircraft are. It doesn't show you the individual aircraft, but it shows you the concentrations of aircraft. So that's really neat. Just so many really neat things that you could do with this. Just trying to see what else. Hide when aircraft not visible. Anyways, yeah, like it's a very improved system and it gives you lots of data. As a controller, it's great because you can discern a lot of information and you can see if somebody's on your frequency or not, if they should be listening to you or not, if they're still on Unicom or what frequencies they're on. So a very useful tool for trying to get pilots communicating with you, see what frequency they're on. So after 3 months, I'm airborne on the network again. Hope I won't screw up too much. Says what are you? Is that what are you holding? You know what? Try. You have nothing to lose by getting out there and trying. My internet, and Iberia 347 said my internet doesn't want an internet. I told him internet is great until it isn't. But yeah, lots of, and he's gone again. So, yeah, a really great tool. If you guys haven't seen that, the new map.vatsim.net is absolutely fantastic. So if you get a chance, definitely have a look at that. You never say what could go wrong when you're in an airplane, that's for sure. There's always stuff that can go wrong. There's always stuff that can go wrong, so never say what could go wrong. At least you're getting out there and trying, though, you know. And I hardly endorse people trying, and you know, I get mad when people. I mostly get mad when people are not willing to put in the effort and try to learn, try to be part of the network, be a good citizen of the network. That's when I get frustrated. That's when I get frustrated with people. When people are not trying to be good neighbors of the network. They have no idea how to fly their airplane. They have no idea how to follow basic instructions. They have no idea how to ask for help if they don't understand something. These are the times that I get mad, anyways, personally, at people is when they do these kind of things. But yeah, I have. Yeah, what can I say? Like, yeah, I'm always willing to try and help somebody if I have the time, especially, and for me, that's the biggest criteria. Those are the two biggest criteria, anyways. Are you willing to accept help and listen and try to learn from someone who's trying to help guide you? And do I have the time for it? Is the other thing. Right now, today's great. If somebody needed help right now, the workload's not over the top. I could definitely deal with it. But if the workload was over the top, then I might not be able to. Shamrock 124 Moncton, looks like they reassigned your squawk code, so I need a new code. Squawk 3120.
3120, Shamrock 124.
All right, looks like the BWR 100 is leaving my airspace. Oh, no, actually he's not, sorry. I was looking at that, but that's not the right airspace at all. I thought he was here, but he's not. He's still a ways away. Okay, good. I had a nice ground in Oakland that helped to get in the air again. One of the other really nice features about VATSIM map that I really like once you get logged onto it is there's a featured maps here. Let me go back to it for a minute because nothing much is happening on here. Anyways, let me go back to the web browser here, and if I shrink it this way, yep. If I do it this big, can you see the bottom yet? There you go. Okay, you can see the bottom there. Anyway, something like that. But this is a super neat feature right here. Featured airports, and there's two tabs here. Popular airports and quiet airports. Quiet staffed airports with at least one controller available, excluding center. So none of my airports are going to appear here. But if you're a newbie on the network, if you're someone who's unfamiliar, who's uncomfortable, who wants somewhere quiet to go, boom. I want controllers. I want to deal with ATC. I want to get practice with ATC, but I don't want to go somewhere that's smoking busy that I'm going to be left in the dust if this guy rattles off something at 100 miles an hour. Go to these airports. If you want to go somewhere that's busy and you can handle it and you're ready to deal with it, here are the popular airports on the network right now. Heathrow. It's got 41 arrivals and 5 departures. What is it? Zurich. 14 departures, 43 arrivals. Rome, 8 departures, 49 arrivals inbound. So show total departures, including airborne. Let's see how many actually left London here. So 53 people have departed London that are still on the network, and 41 have arrived or are inbound to London. Filter by current map area. Then the most popular are Montreal, Halifax, Quebec. If I show departures only, it goes down. But really, really simple, neat feature, but great for finding. And it's the top. I guess it's the top 9, not the top 10, but the top 9. Or maybe that's all. Hold on, let me do that. Top 25. Top 25 busy airports and quiet airports. These airports have a few flights, but not too many. Indianapolis, Raleigh-Durham, Bradley, Trondheim, Nantucket, Providence, Dresden, Rome Campiano, Bremen. So yeah, if you want to go somewhere where there's ATC, where you're not happy with your ATC skills, but you don't want to go somewhere where you're mad smoked, fantastic feature. I really love this quiet airport, almost more than the popular. The popular airport information is easy to find. You go to almost all the websites, and it'll list the popular airports at the top. I guess you could go scan to the bottom of that, but this is neat because it's quiet airports, but airports that have ATC, a power or ground controller. You want to do some practice? Go to Albuquerque today. The guy's bored out of his skull because there's nobody there, but he's on. He's on. He's logging the hours. You might as well go there and give him some traffic. So I thought that was a super neat feature when I saw that as well. That's a really good feature. I hope that I hope that more people take advantage of it. Anyways, this poor Iberia is on and off. All right, I should probably actually focus on what cargo is here doing here. Where are my Navigraph charts here? All right, Navigraph charts here. And if you choose a quiet airport, the controller will be happy to see you. Yes, absolutely. The controller will be happy to see you come in. And the nice thing is when it's quiet, if you have questions, you can usually ask them. If the guy is smoking busy and can't stop talking long enough to think, let alone, go to the bathroom, he's not going to be able to answer your questions if you've got some things you want to learn or try But yeah, these guys will be happy to see you, but they'll also be able to, if you've got questions, they'll be able to answer your questions. So it's such a Such a useful website, such good information. I don't know who thought about this, but sometimes you just need like these good ideas there. They're not obvious, and then suddenly they're so obvious to you. Speedbird 115, absolutely, except log on. It's funny how like sometimes the simplest ideas, it just takes one person to say it, and you're like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's work with that. Let's create that system. I recently joined Virtual Air Canada just for the fun of it, just for give me something kind of to do when I'm flying the network, give me some places to fly to, and I was just kind of chatting with some of the guys, and I made the suggestion, how about we have like a company statistics page on the website where you can list like the flight completion rate, how many flights arrive on time in the scheduled time that's allotted, in the scheduling system, like and I just sort of made it as an offhand suggestion, and immediately, like within like seconds, a bunch of guys leapt on it. They're like, "Oh my God, that's a great idea. We should be doing that. We should be logging how many flights are getting completed by all the people. We got dozens of pilots flying for us every day, but it doesn't have that feeling of like you're accomplishing something until like suddenly you say, here's the schedule, here's how much of it got finished this month, this week because of all of you guys flying, and it starts to all of a sudden look like you're actually contributing something. Tama GT, I prefer the quiet or moderate traffic airports. Crazy events are like going to Walmart for a lineup on Black Friday. Why would I do that? I like both ends of it. I like the quiet, and honestly, I'd like the reason I come on the network is to see other airplanes. So I'd rather go to the busier airports. Now, do I want to go to Frankfurt on a Friday night or something? Probably not. But I do like to go to somewhere that's a little bit busier. I don't mind the quiet airports, and I'm happy to give controllers traffic at the quieter airports too. I love to do that, but yeah, I mean, but that's the nice thing about this network too, is that like to each their own. There's a niche for everybody on this network. Do you like flying airliners? Great. Do you want to fly a PC-12 back and forth to some backwoods airports? Fantastic. You could join the network too. Do you like the busy stuff? Do you like the quiet stuff? There's something for everything. Nobody tells you how to enjoy the network per se. You pick how you want to enjoy this network, what you like about this network, and I love that aspect of it too. It's such an open-ended game, as it were. I mean, it is a game to a degree, and it's a simulation, but it's also a game, and it's such an open-ended game. It's up to you to decide how you want to enjoy it. What game was I just? I started playing. I started playing My Summer Car the other day, and it's a funny little game. It's such bad graphics, but I wanted to see the challenge of see if I could assemble a car with no instructions. The funny thing about this game is it gives you zero instructions. There are some things that happen, and some people actually phone you and ask you to do things for them. But there's, even the missions. There's no map that has the missions pegged on them for you to go and do. It's up to you to figure out what you want to do. Remember what people have told you. It's a very, I don't know if realistic is the right word, but it's a very amusing game. But it's really neat because it is.
Moncton Control, good evening, good afternoon. Sam Pierre 637 with you, flight level 380.
Saint Pierre, what was the flight number?
Sam Pierre 637 with you, flight level 380.
Saint Pierre 637, Moncton, hello. Squawk code 3164.
3164, Sam Pierre 637.
Saint Pierre 637 identified, flight level 380. Welcome. And Saint Pierre 637, I have the latest weather for Saint Pierre. Let's see here. It's the 2000 sequence if you want it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Saint Pierre weather at 20 Zulu. It's an auto sequence. The winds are showing 290 magnetic, 28 gusting 41. Visibility 9999. Few at 1,800. Scattered 2,700. broken 3,400. Temperature -7, dew point -14, and QNH 1023.
Alright, all copied 1023, St. Pierre 637, thank you.
Thank you.
Moncton Centre, KLM 13, heavy radio check.
KLM 13, Moncton, I read you 5, squawk code 3143.
3143, KLM 13, heavy.
Rouge 219, leaving my airspace to the west. Correction, Boston Centre is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Cargo Jet 427 Heavy, descend 4,000.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Rouge 219, 122 decimal, and thank you for service. Merci beaucoup. Merci pour le service.
A bientôt. Cargo Jet 427, descend 4,000.
Descend 4,000, Cargo Jet 47.
And KLM 13 Heavy, you're identified at flight level 360. You're about 11 miles in trail of another 777. Caution possible wake turbulence. Can I offer you a climb to 380 if you're capable?
KLM 13 Heavy, we could take 380.
KLM 13 Heavy for traffic, climb flight level 380. Thank you.
380, sorry about that, KLM 13.
No problem. And did I miss another call there?
It was St. Pierre 637 requesting 10 minutes out.
St. Pierre 637, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Roger, thank you.
2046. Boston offline. And I have the wrong runway programmed in there. Cargo Jet 427, go direct Liros.
Direct Liros, Cargo Jet 47.
All right, that should kill that alarm now. There we go. Okay. We got more people falling all over each other to get into my airspace here. What are we in here now? 2.5 hours? We're approaching the 3-hour mark. It's been a good session so far. It's been steady busy. There's not a whole lot going on in the ground. So, Tom, I'm glad you're kind of getting towards the end of your flight there. I'm thinking maybe another 30 minutes. I might pull the plug since I do have to go to bed early, and I'd like to just get a couple of other things done. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it works out. But that's kind of the plan right now, anyways. It's not the most stimulating VATSIM ATC session ever. It's just lots of en route traffic. 80% en route traffic here in Moncton. But I mean, it is something to look at, something happening. This guy just blinked right through my airspace, didn't even notice him there. What are you going to do? Can't notice everybody. I tend not to focus on what happens up here because it's, if I had a nice vertical screen, it'd be easy, but I tend to focus on where stuff is happening, where it's busy, where there's conflicts happening I have to watch out for. All right, so those guys are all there. And there's this guy here that is, oops, didn't mean to do that. This guy here, also on his way to, I believe that's Dublin. We got a lot of people. They're all going to Elser here. Elser seems to be a popular crossing point today. Everybody's heading to Elser. As long as their speeds are matched, and I think they might all be a group flight, so I think it's okay that their speeds are matched. I'm fine with that. And this guy's below and this guy's above, so it's actually working out quite nicely that I don't have to do anything here to adjust this. And this guy's overtaking this guy. One's going to Detroit, one's going to Toronto, so they'll probably split eventually. I did turf him to Unicom. I forgot to drop him there. All right. And then we got Cargo Jet. Hey, Cargo Jet 427, just want to confirm you plan on the ILS runway 23?
If ILS for Cargo Jet 47.
Cargo Jet 427, thanks to send 3,000 at Liros. You cleared the Halifax ILS runway 23.
Okay, descend 3,000, runway 23, Cargo Jet 47.
thought I had Liros in there. There we go. Hi. Only one lander in my airspace. No, that's not true. Saint-Pierre is also landing in my airspace, though it's not a controlled airport. Well, it is a controlled airport, but it's not controlled by me. Sometimes I control, sometimes I
Moncton
don't.
Centre, good afternoon. Boeing November 524 Mike Golf Heavy, flight level 390, about 70 miles northwest of Fredericton.
November 524 Mike Golf, Moncton, hello. Squawk ahead, please. November 524 Mike Golf, thank you. Your identified flight level 370. Proceed direct Elser.
Direct Elser, 524 Mike Golf.
$11. Do you think I could descend down to flight level 340? Fuel burn is a little bit high up here.
$11 heavy, affirmative, descend, flight level 340.
Roger that, thank you.
Moncton, Texas Cargo, 51 Heavies with you, flight level 320.
Texas Cargo 51 Moncton, hello. Squawk code 3170.
3170.
Good afternoon, Center. TWA 789 Heavy with you, flight level 340.
TWA 789 Moncton, hello. Squawk 3140.
3140, TWA 789.
Texas Cargo 51, thank you. Identified flight level 320.
Texas Cargo 51 Heavy, thank you.
TWA 789 Heavy, identified flight level 340, and proceed direct Presque Isle, Papa, Quebec, India.
Can you say again for TWA 789?
TWA 789, identified flight level 340, proceed direct to Presque Isle, that's Papa, Quebec, India.
Direct to profile, TWA 789.
These guys are all converging, but it's going to be okay. There's a lot of converging going on, though. Get him turning a little more direct, get this guy taking the slightly longer route since he's behind anyways, just to get me a little bit of lateral separation so it looks a little better.
Moncton Centre, KLM 13 Heavy.
KLM 13, Moncton, hello.
KLM 13 Heavy, request 10 minutes step away Fable.
And KLM 13, 10 minutes, okay, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Let you know we're back, KLM 13 Heavy.
It's like KLM 13. It's like I thought it was familiar, but I wasn't sure. Some days you don't even know what you're looking at anymore. All right, cargo jet's almost there. Tom's almost there. Hi. Yeah, I don't know when we'll get that next pilot live stream in. I'm hoping soon. I'm hoping yeah, I'm hoping soon. But yeah, this week I just don't think it's going to fit into the schedule. Maybe next week. I'm hoping I find a day. I'm trying to think what days I'm off next week. Now I'm back to actually. The one thing that's kind of nice though is that I am back to having a schedule, a regular.
St. Pierre 637 is back.
St. Pierre 637 Moncton, thank you. And St. Pierre 637 Moncton, when you're ready, descend flight level 290.
290 at pilot discretion, St. Pierre 637.
Yeah, it is what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say here? Oh, I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, my schedules. I'm hoping that at least it's going to be a little bit more predictable going forward. That I'll be able to.
Moncton, good afternoon. Air Canada 615, gate 22 Halifax, looking for IFR to Toronto. We have Charlie.
Air Canada 615 Moncton, hello. You are cleared to Toronto via the Halifax 4 departure, and your flight plan route departure runway is to Tree and Squawk Tree 165.
Okay, clear to Toronto, up the Halifax 4 departure, runway 23, 3165 on the box for Canada 615.
Air Canada 615, the readback is correct. The Halifax information is Charlie. Give me a call. Pushback is at your discretion. Give me a call when you're ready for taxi.
Okay, we'll call for taxi, Air Canada 615.
Oh, we got another one in Halifax, and this one might actually leave. I feel like the November 428 Delta Charlie's never leaving. It's a Challenger 605, and that kind of makes sense. Sometimes these guys, they call for a clearance, and then the passenger doesn't show up, and all of a sudden the passenger shows up. We got to go now. We got to go now. We got to go now. But like, meanwhile, you've been sitting at the airport waiting for 3 or 4 hours. Anyways, yeah, I'm hoping that in the future my schedule will be a little bit more predictable. So this week days off, Thursday, Friday, next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and then going forward, it's going to be kind of a Wednesday, Thursday kind of off for the foreseeable future. So it's not a terrible, what am I trying to say? It's not like a terrible schedule. There's some predictability added to it. Yeah, we're just going to have to see what kind of unfolds, unfortunately.
Air France 356 Heavy, request climbing flight level 380 for performance.
Air France 356. Let's see here. Stand by.
Standing by, Air France 356.
Air France 356. You got traffic following you just a little bit behind you there. So in order to get you to climb, I'll probably have to get you to about 5 miles off track to the north. Are you okay with that, or do you want to just hold off on the climb for a bit?
So it's either we go 5 miles north or we wait for the climb. Is that correct?
Yeah, Air France 356, that's correct. The traffic behind you's on a very similar route. They're going to diverge very slowly, but if I give you a turn to the right now, I can get you off course and I can get you that climb so you're not in conflict with them.
Okay, we prefer to hold for the climb for now, so we'll just maintain current parameters.
Okay, Air France 356, I copy that. Yeah, the looks like you're going to diverge with the traffic by about 10 degrees following Yankee Bravo Charlie there, so probably out of my airspace before I'd be able to authorize that climb.
Okay, roger. So we'll wait for your foot-in switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Moncton Centre, 13 is back.
And KLM 13, roger. KLM 13 heavy, direct to Pevney, please.
Direct to Pevney, KLM 13 heavy.
If I give them direct, it'll get a little bit more divergence there. All right, you're just turning final there. I think it's going to be fine. I don't think Air Canada's going to push anytime soon. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next Pilot Life streams and show off some new stuff. The one thing that did actually come out, I don't know if anybody saw this, but WinWing officially launched pre-orders for their MCDUs, their Boeing and Airbus MCDU products on their website. So you can pre-order them. You don't have to pay for them now, but basically, I guess they're trying to look to get some sense of how many people are going to be ordering them. So there's no the thing is, there's right now there's no obligation. You could sign up to order. They're not billing you right now. It's just simply a pre-order without even taking a cash deposit or anything. So if you're thinking about it, I would suggest doing it so that you can kind of give WinWing a sense of how many units they're going to need to order and where they're going to allocate them. Because the nice thing is that, like, depending on where you are in a lot of the regions, the price includes shipping. Which, when you start to actually look at it and say this module, you know, and it's a decent sized module, like I don't know the exact dimensions of it, but like it's got the dedicated screen, customized buttons, USB interface, so it's not going to take any power away from your GPU. The image is generated on the device. I think it's $130 US or $140 US, including shipping. Frankly, it's a phenomenal deal. So for a lot of the global stores, it will include shipping. Cargojet 427, Halifax winds 220 at 6, clear to land 23.
Clear to land 23, Cargojet 427 heavy.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I think frankly it's a fantastic deal, and right now they're just asking for pre-orders with no cash deposit or anything. Like no payment is being taken at this time. So if you're thinking about it, I would suggest going to the store and ordering it so that they know where to allocate these, because they said that there's limited amounts that are going to be allocated for each different geographic region, each different geographic store that they have. They have a U.S. store. They have a, I'm trying to think now, they have a U.S. store. I know they have a Canada store because I went and ordered mine. And I'm not even 100% sure I want it. But it's just like you have nothing to lose by signing up for it right now. Not that I want anyone to abuse the process, or order something they not really honestly think they're going to order. But if you think there's a reasonable chance, you might. They have different stores. They have a Canada store, a United States store, what I believe that's a Japanese store. I think that's Chinese. Australia store, a European Union store, and a United Kingdom store, and then they have a global store. So the global store is not include shipping because it could be shipping to anywhere from China. But all the other stores, they will have a local stock. They'll have a limited local stock. But for what they're asking for, what WinWing is asking for this product, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. There's 4 different versions. There's the MCDU version for the Airbus, and I was trying to figure this out. And then there's PFP versions, 3, 4, and 7. And those are the Boeing versions for the 37, the 47, and the 777. It took me a little while to figure out what was what, but that's the interface are almost the same, but the 37 has a very gray box, whereas the 47, the 777 have brown boxes. The 777 has the green backlighting versus a more orange yellowy backlighting for the 47. It's so quite the impressive looking product though for what they're charging for it, especially. Cargojet 427, welcome to Halifax. Are you heading to the apron at the west side of the field there?
We'll take apron 3 for Cargojet 427 Heavy.
I don't have the aprons up. Hold on. Okay, yeah, Cargojet 427, if you want to, just roll all the way to the end and taxi Juliet to the apron.
Roger, all the way to the end into the apron. We have another problem here on the runway. The reverses. 1 second, Cargojet 427.
Okay, no problem. Let me know if you can't taxi. Let's see here. What else have I got going on here? Okay. Air France 356 Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal's not online. You can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. You are diverging with the other traffic. They're about 14 miles behind you now, diverging slowly to the south. So climb is at your discretion and have a good rest of the night.
France 356, copy for the info, and we're switching with the en route frequency, and we'll climb in a bit. Thank you very much for the service. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Moncton Centre, hello, Condor 2016, level 380, inbound Lompsey.
Condor 2016 Moncton, hello, squawk code 3110.
Condor 2016, squawk 3110.
KLM 13 Heavy Moncton. The traffic that you were chasing there over at your 1 o'clock is slowly diverging to the north. They're over at they're at 360. They are planning a step climb to 380 shortly. Just keep an eye on them.
Roger, yeah, we see their chemtrails for KLM 13 Heavy. We'll keep distance.
Roger. Condor 2016, thank you. Identified, flight level 380.
Center Cafe A11 Delta is going offline. Thank you for your service. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Cafe 811 Delta, have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Moncton Air Canada 615 with Charlie ready to taxi.
Air Canada 615 Moncton, runway 23. Information is Charlie, altimeter 3031. Are you okay to make the right turn there onto Golf?
Yeah, we can make it.
Air Canada 615, runway 23, taxi via Golf, Foxtrot Lima, cross runway 14.
Golf Foxtrot Lima, cross 14, hold short 23, Air Canada 615.
KLM 13 Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. You can switch to the en-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great night.
Switching over to you, copy. Have a great night, KLM 13 Heavy.
$1.48 Moncton. Traffic for you, sorry, Delta 48 Moncton. Traffic for you at your 11 o'clock right now for about 25 miles is a converging 777. Going to be crossing Elser at 350 also for the crossing. United 927 Moncton. Traffic for you at your 2 o'clock for about 17 miles is an eastbound 777. Level at 330 is going to also be crossing Elser about 1 minute ahead of you.
Copy 9927.
Delta 48 Moncton. Delta 48 Moncton Centre. Well, Tom, thanks very much for flying for me today. Good to see you got on the ground. Got a couple things on the go here, but I think I'm going to plan to pull the plug soon here. It's been fun, but it's just not that much going on. In all honesty, these two guys, I mean, at least the Air Canada's taxiing out. The other two guys have not done anything they've been online for like at least an hour or two without doing anything. I think it's been an hour since Halifax arrival left, and they had their clearance at the time and still have not done anything. Air Canada 615 Moncton, contact me airborne. The wind's 230 at 6, clear to takeoff, runway 23.
Call you airborne, clear for takeoff 23, Air Canada 615.
Delta 48 Heavy Moncton.
Parked up, thanks for the great service today. Have a good one.
Thanks so much for flying in, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Delta 48 Moncton. I just want to pass some traffic. That's crazy amount of people converging on Elsear here. All right. That is Condor 2016 logon request. Absolutely. Do it. I really should pick a different sound for that, though. It's kind of obnoxious. Oh, well, whatever. Thanks again for the ATC and stream. Plane only misbehaved once. Well, that's not too bad. Can't complain. Thank you very much for giving me some traffic and giving me something to actually do, being someone who's actually departing and arriving at my airspace. 90% of these people, it's just log on, log off, log on, log off. Check in, check out, check in, check out. Elsear is a very popular fix this evening. All right, I'm just going to do this now. Iberia 347 Moncton. Iberia 347, you're just about to leave my airspace to the west. You can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Oh, that's Unicum. Bye.
Take care. I mean, I don't mind the en route. The en route's fun, and there's the fun thing is, like in Moncton, there's usually enough density of it that you do have to really actually be alert for conflicts. You do have to be looking out, making sure that two people are not going to try to occupy the same space at the same altitude at the same time. So far, it's worked out pretty well, but I have had to make a few deviations, a few turns, a few climbs, descents. So it's been interesting. It's definitely been interesting. St. Pierre 637 Moncton, descend 5,000, QNH 1023.
Descend maintain 5,000, 1023, St. Pierre 637.
I don't even have charts up for St. Pierre. Let's go and have a look here.
Moncton Centre, 615 airborne off 23, 1,500.
Air Canada 615 Moncton, thank you. Identified climb, flight level 230.
Climb 230, Air Canada 615.
Air Canada 615 Moncton, turn right, direct mound on course.
Right there, direct mound on course, Air Canada 615.
All right, should get some 2100 weather hopefully for St. Pierre soon. And what is that? That is a Condor request 400. That is approved. It's nice to see, and like, it's nice to see that that the Hoppy 8 cars especially is catching on. It's not exclusive and not everybody is using it all the time, but it's definitely common enough that it's worth logging on. You'll definitely get a few people on every day that are logged onto it, that are using it, that are sending messages back and forth with it. That what a and I'd imagine like it's a neat thing when you're in the airplane too to receive the CPDLC message and be able to have to pay attention to it. Delta 48 Moncton. Yeah, I might give it like another 20 minutes, and then I might pull the plug. Definitely get this Air Canada 615 out to the Unicom probably. Get the St. Pierre probably on the ground, and then we'll probably think about pulling the plug on it. They're about 10 minutes away from landing. who's first here? Metro 1012 Heavy, Moncton. You're about to leave my airspace to the east. The Oceanic's offline. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
We're switching. Have a good day, Metro 1012 Heavy.
Take care. November 8 X-Ray Foxtrot, Moncton. You're also about to leave my airspace to the east. Oceanic's offline. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Frequency change approved. Challenger 8 X-Ray Foxtrot, g'day.
G'day. Delta 48 Heavy, Moncton. Let's see if he's on my frequency. Where's my VATSIM map? Because he has not been answering me for a while now. And if you want to step away, I got no problem with it, but you got to say something. He is on frequency 32.2. He's on my frequency, just not listening. Send him a text. Get this person calling me. Quiet airports on VATSIM. Islamabad. Popular airports on my map. Let's zoom out a little bit here because I'm zoomed in too far. Popular airports. JFK, 14 arrivals, 1 departure. JFK, Boston, Newark, Montreal. Halifax eventually falls on that list eventually. All right, he did acknowledge the climb to flight level 440, so that's good.
Good evening, Center. Delta 32, checking with you, flight level 350.
Delta 32, Moncton. Hello, Squawk Cadet. Delta 32, Moncton. Thank you. Identified flight level 350. You can proceed direct Jupi.
Sorry, that was direct to what?
Direct Jupi, Juliet Oscar Oscar Papa Yankee.
Direct to Jupi for Delta 32.
Air Canada 615, Moncton. Climb flight level 340.
I think you got step down moves up for Air Canada 615.
Air Canada 615, affirmative. Climb flight level 340.
Up to 340, Air Canada 615.
Did I block anybody else? Delta 48, Moncton. You still here at all? United 927, Moncton. You're leaving my airspace to the east. The Oceanic is offline. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Alright, after you again, have a good day. 927.
And Shamrock 124, Moncton. Leave my airspace to the east. The Oceanic sector is offline. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
122.8 for Shamrock 124. Merci beaucoup.
Take care. Delta 48 Heavy, Moncton. Delta 48 Heavy, Moncton. This is Moncton Centre on guard. If you hear me, come up on 32.2. That's for Delta 48 Heavy, Moncton 32.2. I mean, I don't even know why I want him on board if I'm not even going to talk to him, really, because I'm turfing him to Unicom. Just trying to get a hold of him to turf him to Unicom. Anywho, I give up on him. All right, Air Canada's in the turn. Saint-Pierre. And Saint-Pierre 637. Looks like I got the newest, well, it's not the newest hourly sequence. I got a specie from 2030 if you're ready to copy.
Ready to copy, Saint-Pierre 637.
Saint-Pierre 2030 Zulu weather, auto station. The wind's showing 280 magnetic at 26 gust 39. Visibility 8,000 meters. Few 1,600. Scattered 2,400. Broken 3,000. Temperature -7. Dew point -9. QNH 1023. And I have no further traffic observed. Reported between you and the airport. You're clear for an approach at St. Pierre.
Roger, copy all 1023, and we are clear for the approach 26 in St. Pierre. St. Pierre 637.
St. Pierre 637, thanks. You can switch to the mandatory frequency for the arrival, and you can give me a call this frequency down and clear to close the flight plan.
Roger, right now on Unicom, and I will call you back on this frequency for the flight plan St. Pierre 637.
And St. Pierre 637, I'm not 100% sure if you'll get me on the ground there. I think so, but if not, just try me on text.
Roger, we'll give it a try, St. Pierre 637. Thanks a lot, I appreciate that.
Merci.
Moncton Centre, Arcana 6711, passing flight level 218, climbing to flight level 230.
Air Canada 6711 Moncton. Make sure the transponder's on, squawking 4310.
4310, Air Canada 6711.
Unfortunately, he's kind of worn out my time here. Get St. Pierre on the ground, and I think that's going to be it for the day. I think we will pull the plug at that point, because I think I put it enough.
How about right now? Air Canada 6711 is best clock correct right now?
And Air Canada 6711, if that's you, about 10, 20 miles east of Halifax, I'm still showing a standby target only. Just make sure the transponder is in mode Charlie.
Roger, let me figure out how to change from the standby to out. Air Canada 6711.
Air Canada 892 Heavy Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Air Canada 892 Heavy Moncton.
Air Canada 892, go.
Air Canada 892 Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal's not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
228, yeah.
Take care. All right. I think we're just about done. These two are definitely a conflict here. As long as they level off at the appropriate altitude, it's not a conflict. As long as he does what he's supposed to do, that's the key. Not to be negative, I don't think they won't. Yeah, not much is happening. I am honestly starting to get bored. These departures are never going to leave Halifax, so I'm about to give up on them. Oh, Boston Center's online.
Moncton Centre, Air Canada 6711, is my spark works right now?
Air Canada 6711. Nope, it's still squawking standby. Just try it in the client. Just turn on the mode C in your client.
Roger.
Boston Centre came back online. Nice. Ay. Assume that that's probably that guy there. Boston's probably ignoring him altogether, thinking I'll grab him. becoming very quiet now. A little too quiet. Aye. All my ATISs are updating with the latest hourly sequences.
Moncton Centre, I think that works right now. Arcana 611.
Air Canada 6711, affirmative. You're identified climbing through 233, climb to level 250.
Climb to flight level 250. Arcana 611.
Air Canada 615, traffic just your 12:30 to 1 o'clock now for about 20 miles. It's an eastbound 330. He's up at 350. Just caution possible wake turbulence.
Okay, we're looking for Canal 615.
Air Canada 615, contact the Boston Centre now, 134.7. G'day.
34-7, Air Canada 615, see you later.
$1.11 heavy, contact the Boston Centre now on 134.7. G'day.
$1.11 going over to Boston Centre. Thanks for the ATC. Have a great day.
Good night. It's funny because it was busy for most of the afternoon and it really is just kind of waning. I got a couple people still crossing my airspace, but it really has, the traffic level has really dropped off the last 45 minutes or so. Get those guys over to Boston early. See if I can get this Speedbird 115 over to Boston. Yeah, it got immediately rejected. It got auto rejected, which means it's not in range. That the controller didn't even know the airplane existed, so it's not within his radar range yet. So I can try again, probably another minute or so here. Basically, I'm waiting for St. Pierre 637 to land. Once he notifies me that he's landed, then I'm going to close up shop here. I think I've had enough. It was a fun afternoon. It was good. We had a lot of traffic. And I have to say, like, I was overall, like I think I said it many times, but I was very impressed with the rate of compliance with people calling me. I saw probably about, I must have tracked at least 60 airplanes, and I probably only had about 3 or 4 that I had to like wallop to get them on board with me. It was a pretty small number overall. I was pretty impressed with how low that number actually was. And you can actually check it here. I think I have my VATSIM stats up here. It'll tell me how many airplanes I actually tagged up. Let's just see here. let's actually do this one. Let's do this one. Let's see if it'll show me my session here. I want to see if it's going to show me my session. Let's see here. It won't show me my session because the session is not complete. It'll be interesting to see what the stat is. Probably out of like 60 airplanes.
Moncton Centre, November 4, Mike Golf, request a step climb to flight level 390.
And 4 Mike Golf, it broke up a little bit. Just confirm flight level 410.
Flight level 390 for 4 Mike Golf.
November 524 Mike Golf, climb, flight level 390.
390 for Mike Golf, thanks.
Still not quite in range. I'm not even sure where this Emirates flight is. Oh, there he is.
Good evening, Center Delta 32. Realize that's supposed to be at flight level 370. Is it okay if I step climb?
Delta 32, affirm. Climb flight level 370.
Up to 370 for Delta 32.
American 32 Moncton, you're leaving my airspace to the east. Oceanic sectors offline. Switch to the under frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Okay, over to advisor. Thanks for all the help. Have a great one. American 32.
Still not within range. I really want to get him, but he's just not quite doing it. All right, so Emirates was just asking for a radio check. I didn't get him on voice, but I did get him on text, but he's not going to be in my airspace before I log off here shortly. Yeah. It won't show me the stats for my current session until the session is complete. I thought it might show you like the stats up until this point, but it's not showing me anything, so that's okay. No big deal. I just wanted to see how many airplanes I'd actually tagged. Because I've probably tagged, I would think 50 to 60 airplanes today. Maybe not that many, but it feels like it anyway. It certainly feels like that. I've had 8 to 10 airplanes tagged almost the entire day, the last several hours, and they come and go. About 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours to cross my space, so I would think I've tagged about that many airplanes. And so to have only 3 or 4 out of that number not responding, not answering, that's a pretty good statistic. I think that's very reasonable. Hi. Well, yeah, now I'm starting to feel a little bit tired, which is good because I have to go to bed soon. I have to go to bed early. So it's actually good that I am feeling tired already.
Eric, 11, your radio.
All right, everybody, just be careful. There's a stuck mic there. Nice. Speed we're 115.
Air Canada 111 radio check.
Air Canada 111 Moncton, read you 5.
Air Canada 111 is ready to copy clearance to New York as filed.
Air Canada 111 Moncton, you're cleared to New York Kennedy Airport via the Moncton Fife departure flight plan route. Depart 24 squawk 3171.
To the JFK via the Moncton 5 departure, runway 24 and squawk 3171, Air Canada 111.
Air Canada 111, thanks. Read back is correct information in Moncton is November. I'm going to be closing actually in just a minute here, so you can revert to the mandatory frequency for departure and have yourself a good rest of the day.
Okay, so information November and over to Unicom, Air Canada 111. Take care, Air Canada.
Take care.
Saint-Pierre 637 is on the ground in Saint-Pierre.
Saint-Pierre 637, thank you. Your flight plan is closed. Alert and service terminates at 2127 Zulu. Have a good night.
All right, perfect. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the service and see you next time. Bonne soirée.
Bonne soirée. TWA 789 Moncton, we're going to be closing now. You can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good night. Texas Cargo 51 Moncton, closing now. You can switch to en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Robbie, have a good evening, sir.
Thanks. Good night. Air Canada 6711 Moncton, I'm going to be closing now. You can switch back to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. November 524 Mike Golf Moncton, going to be closing now. Switch to the en route frequency. Your surveillance service terminates. Good night.
All right, frequency change approved. You have a good night. Format Golf.
Delta 32 Heavy, same for you. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good night.
Window 2016, monitor. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Air Canada 6711 Moncton, I'm logging off now. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a good night. Speedbird 115 Moncton, contact Boston Centre 134.7. Speedbird 115 Moncton. All right, if anybody else is still on the frequency, Moncton Centre is now closed. Switch to the en route frequencies, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night, buddy.
All right, that's it. I'm gone I sent these guys over. I texted and sent as many messages as I could. There's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can do when people are not answering and not monitoring their frequencies. So, anyways, that's enough for me for today. I definitely it's getting a little worn out towards the end. I'm starting to get a little tired. I definitely need to probably eat a little something and get ready for bed. I know it's early, but got to get up super early. So, good night, everybody. Hope you had hope you enjoyed that stream. Definitely fun. Surprisingly busy for Moncton, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but just just lots of overflight traffic. It was really quite good. I really enjoyed it, but I'm gonna head out now for the night. I'll see you guys all out there on the VATSIM skies, and hopefully I will have a stream again for you next week. Hopefully maybe a pilot's live stream. We'll see what happens. If not, the week after, we'll keep on trying. I'm gonna get them out there eventually. It's not giving up. It's not lost. It's just a matter of finding the time. Anyways, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you guys all out there next time. Take care.